all of you delightful beings out there, and welcome to the stream. I am Razim, and this is Piercing the Veil Scar, Season 1, Episode 1, Sharlissian Skies. This is one of our tabletop RPG campaigns being run with our custom Scar system, or Stories and Creatures in Alternate Realities. This one is being run in the Star Wars universe. And, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get into things here. With this.
Rank up.
Apparently a raid.
Hooray! Nice.
Rick Strider rated
Timing.
my stream with 7 views.
Piercing the Veil, Episode 1, Sharlissian Skies. It is a time of great tensions. Rebel forces have begun to come together and organize against the Galactic Empire. In the shadows, members of various organizations are taking advantage of the Empire's growing attention on rebel activities to pursue their own goals during the distraction. On the outer rim planet of Sharlissia, multiple of these forces are in conflict. The newly formed Rebel Alliance has sent insurgents into the area to disrupt the valuable trade route that originates from Sharlissia and weaken Imperial presence, expecting little resistance on an outer rim planet. However, Imperial forces are gathering on the planet for an unknown reason, but rumors have it that the Imperial Security Bureau is involved, with an internal affairs officer personally visiting Sharlissia. An old man by the name of Sen Randon has hired the crew of the Omen Runner with some other intriguing individuals to guard him as he goes and visits forgotten and dangerous temples on the planet, hoping to find some lost information related to the Force to bring back to the rest of the Gen Sarai, an outlawed Force organization that utilizes both light and dark.
Alright, and now we'll go ahead and begin with introductions. Go ahead, Taldarius.
Hello, I am Taldarius, and I will be the storyteller for this campaign. That is my voice that you just heard in that intro scroll, and those will happen every single game. I will be the storyteller for this, and I hope that you all enjoy the events of this campaign. Starting us off with introductions, Amy.
Hello, I am FoxFiend, and I'm playing the character Amy, a astral wind Amerin. Pass over to Barnaby.
Hello, I am Barnaby. I am a Shadow Nature Ewok,
Well,
and I will be the party's doctor.
You are Enja, but yes.
Oh, yes. Fair enough. I am Enja, and I will be playing Barnaby. So, is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Alright, so who's next in the order?
That would be me.
Go forth then, Razim.
I am Razim, and I will be playing as Furvis, the 9-foot-tall Lothwolf. He is a mythic astral type. And off to Krill.
Hello, I am Merl, and I am playing Krill, the basic type, Salonian. Off to Garou.
Hello everyone, I'm Garou, and I'm going to be playing Regis, the psionic, and
I believe
Shadow.
you decided on Shadow.
Shadow. Yep, psionic and shadow human. And it's going to be fun. I'm going to pass that right over to Ron.
Hey y'all, it's William Cannon Swiftfoot, and I will be playing. I'll be playing Ron Reha, basic both in astromechanic.
Alright, and now we'll go ahead and turn it over to Tal, because normally this is where we do the recap, but they'll be happening first, so go for it.
Nothing to recap, and that would be handled in the opening scroll anyway. So, here's the situation. We are starting this campaign with you all having just entered the Sharlissia system. You have recently set out from a nearby planet in order to finish off a trade route. But while there, you picked up, at least a couple additional passengers, mostly relating to a rather well-paying and lucrative job that you have been offered. All that you have to do is help guard someone while they go around and visit a couple temples on Sharlissian. They're going by the name of Sen Randon, and they generally tend to go around in a brownish grayish cloak that covers pretty much their whole body. It has a hood, but he doesn't always have it up. He's kind of an old man, and is fairly soft-spoken about things, and is a little bit cagey about why he wants to go and interact with all of these various temples, just citing that it's a religious matter to him. Recently, you have picked up additional crew members, at least as passengers, in order to help with the trip, because they were hired on as well. And you are being paid for transporting them as well, thankfully. However, there are some interesting things as you arrive in system. First of all, this is a rather well-known trade planet, but what you do end up seeing is that Imperial presence here is far higher than you would normally expect it to be on an Outer Rim planet like this that isn't critically important. Because Outer Rim planets tend to be far less directly oversighted and governed by the Empire, and they tend to stick to Krill worlds, Inner Rim, and Middle Rim. So that is a notable fact as you have arrived in this system. You would know that the next thing to do is to go, in systems sub-light speed and go to the planet with your communications open and receive additional instructions there about where to land.
All right.
So they have not picked up the old man yet?
No, they have.
Ah.
They're taking the old man there, like I was just saying, like at their previous stop is when they picked it up. Picked him up, and as well as Furvis. And I think Regis, you were having your character be picked up like new on this adventure, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So both Furvis and Regis are new additions, and everyone else has been on the ship for at least some time. And your ship is called the Omen Runner. You settled on the Barlow's class, right?
Yep.
Yes.
All right.
Yep. All right, everyone. This is your captain speaking. Welcome to Systems Sharlissian. It appears there is a bit of Imperial activity going on. If you have anything illegal, be sure to stow it away in the hidden compartments that you have been directed to before anything can happen, and we'll be arriving shortly. Thank you.
Barnaby, having already gone through the song and dance, deposits most of the things that could be considered toxin, which is most of his inventory.
Nice. It's a great thing when the first thing a character does is get told, "Hey, put your illegal stuff away." Okay, there goes most of his inventory.
Krill is fidgety. She does not like all this Imperial attention.
Barnaby does not wish to be, air quotes, as he put it, robbed at the next time they go through a checkpoint.
That's why when we were discussing the ship, we made sure there was plenty of smuggling storage.
And well hidden.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
All right. So, I'm assuming Here, I'll just ask. Is anyone going to keep an illegal item on their person?
I don't even think I have anything that's illegal.
Well, if there are some medicines that are considered illegal, well, that's just unfortunate.
Not in particular, really, unless you start getting into some of the extremely like quote unquote medicine type stuff, of which you probably really don't have unless you're considering it a toxin, in which case you would have already put it away.
Yes,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
no. The thing about Barnaby and putting away most of the air quotes poisons are because this is Ewok medicine, literally handmade.
Regulations? What regulations?
What are you
Oh, regulations.
What are you talking about? What words are you saying to me? Yes, I keep it in a glass jar that is particularly thin. It is intended to be thrown. I need to administer this in a hurry, if it is needed.
Are weapons considered illegal?
Normally no. It only starts getting considered illegal if you start having like actual like big gun heavy weaponry, of which none of you would have.
Yeah, we're
Someone
not
comes out of
carrying
their
around
ship
artillery.
carrying their heavy repeater blaster rifle. Be like, what do you mean this is illegal?
Then nothing to declare.
Yeah, you start taking a tripoded heavy repeating blaster out of the cargo hold. Just be like, what do you mean this is an illegal item?
This is my
You
emotional
mean-
support gun that is 3 times my size.
What do you mean I can't take my emotional support E-Web blaster cannon with me?
Or lightsabers.
Just try and walk the entire ship through customs.
All right, so everyone who has anything that's restricted stores it all, and
I suppose.
anything happen?
All right. Well, in that case, you would spend a little while traveling towards the planet. Again, the planet being particularly abuzz with Imperial activity. There is the what about you would expect to be the standard amount of trade ships that you're seeing coming and going from a planet like this. It's just that things are particularly congested because, well, it seems like there's a bunch of Imperial labeled ships that are arriving as well. So whatever's going on there is very likely a recent addition or event.
Right.
But as you get closer and closer to the planet, your comms unit starts to blink a couple of times.
Answer it. Hey, this is the Omen Runner answering.
All right, so you're the Omen Runner, Barlaw's class freighter. No known anything, none of this, none of that. Okay. Please state your business when coming to Sharlissian.
We are here for trade and tourism.
All right, trade and tourism. In that case, go ahead and send over your shipping manifest so that way we can make sure to check your cargo and make sure you aren't carrying anything illegal.
Click, click, and done. Here you go. Everything should be in order.
Yep, as you would have very obviously left out any illegal items you're carrying from your shipping manifest.
Obviously.
Yeah,
Obviously, yeah.
obviously. And so they'll go ahead and log that. It'll take a minute or two, and then they'll just go, all right, went ahead and put all the information in. Go ahead and land at any of these destinations. Thank you, and welcome to Sharlissia. And you receive a basically just a readout of coordinates where it's just for inbound traffic.
Right. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
And the comm turns
And-
off.
And yeah, proceed.
All right. And as you descend onto Sharlissia, I'm going to go ahead and describe the planet a little bit. Sharlissian is a rather bustling outer rim trade planet. It was colonized at some point about between 2,000 and 3,000 years ago. During the Clone Wars, it was in the Confederacy of Independent Systems, and has some rather important trade routes that are associated with it, even being the source of a trade route. Ever since it was taken back about almost 20 years ago for you guys in the current timeline, it has been firmly with the Republic and then the Empire. There is about 500 million people on this planet, and it is a rather lush-looking planet with areas of large amounts of vegetation.
All right.
With that in mind, you would be able to descend into what is effectively the capital city of Sharlissian, and you would be directed to a landing bay where your ship is landed, and then you see scanners activate as they check your ship, and because you did load away everything into your concealed compartments, there's no issue.
Perfect. All right. This is your captain speaking. Thank you for riding the Omen Runner. We have landed. Just a moment longer, and they'll finish their scan, and we'll be good for departing from the ship and for our business. Thank you. All right.
I wonder what things I can find here. I wonder.
There is a large amount of vegetation for Barnaby to start exploring.
What magnificent properties have people conveniently overlooked today?
And getting up from the pilot seat, going through the ship to the cargo bay. Tal, I believe it was mentioned that we are transporting not just what was his name? Sen?
Sen Randon, like C-E-N.
Sen?
Sen.
But yeah, aside from Sen, we were also transporting some cargo. Would we have a contact here that we were meeting, or?
You would have a seller that you or a buyer that you're selling to lined up, and effectively what this money is the leftover group starting credits.
Okay. All right.
So you offload this, and then you get your remaining group starting credits.
Right. Okay.
Which I would recommend that you keep most of that squared away, because starship repairs are expensive if anything happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and you
I
might
bet.
want to use it to buy some more trade goods.
That too.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, some notes. I am going to actually note on my character sheet under assets, ship, credits. Let's see. Anyone remember exactly how much ship credits we had left after?
I think you had like 14,000 something.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Let me. Yeah, 14,300 is what we would have left.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, and that is noted under my assets, or under assets on my character sheet. Okay.
All right. So as you have listed your reasoning as trade and tourism, As you are a trader, you are exempt from having to pay any sort of like effectively like docking fee for the first week that you're here.
Perfect.
Who would have thought the trade area wants to encourage traders to come there?
Yeah. Funny that. In which case, is Sen, do you need any assistance with where you're heading next?
Sen would have been meditating as you addressed him, which you notice that they do a lot, actually. It
Right.
seems to be their primary hobby or something.
Yeah.
And he'll open up his eyes and look over at you and just go, no, not in particular. I am going to be preparing myself for the journey ahead, and I would recommend that all of you do the same. From the coordinates that I have received about the location of the first temple, flying the ship in atmosphere, if you want to take it, it would take less than a day, but if you wish to travel on foot, that would probably be more about a 5 to 6 day journey, I believe.
So, where is he currently at?
Oh, he's hanging out in the cargo bay.
Okay, cool. Because Furvis, that works, because Furvis would probably be in there too and just kind of watching him constantly.
Krill will walk up to help facilitate the cargo and whisper to Amy, it would be less conspicuous if we just walked instead of taking the ship. With the Imperial presence and all.
Right. Would that be a 5-day journey there and back, or round trip, or would that be a 5-day journey there and then 5 days back?
It would be about a 5-day journey to get there.
Perhaps we can rent some land vehicles.
They're called land speeders, by the way.
Land speeders.
That would certainly be an option. Land speeders depends on the luxury of the model, but we could probably get one that would be able to hold our entire group for probably 250 credits a day.
Okay.
I would be willing to cover at least some of the costs of that.
I mean, you're already paying us, and it is our job to make sure you're able to get there safely and back. And so, in the meantime, while we get ready for that, I'll go ahead and start looking for any trade goods we can pick up here and take along to our next destination.
With Imperials here, do we really want to be taking something that likely has a tracer on it?
Look, we need to be making money, and as long as it doesn't stay on the ship, there will be no issue. Besides, it would look suspicious if we said our purpose was to trade and then we didn't do more trading.
Not to mention we're not
I'm
in there.
renting the speeder.
I mean, another purpose was tourism. Speeders get rented all the time.
He gives a bit of a huff.
If it is that much of a concern for you, we can try to figure something else out. Perhaps it'll be some untraced speeders that we can find in some of the less reputable markets around here.
Does anybody know how to sweep for such devices?
don't. Might not have the tools, but I could probably probably pull those sweep if needed. Besides, we haven't gotten suspicion yet.
We're not doing anything illegal here. There's nothing wrong with going and checking out some old temples.
I would heavily recommend that you be as vague as possible when it comes to what we're going to be looking at. It probably wouldn't be the best idea to drag too much attention our way.
Right. Well, I'll go see what I can find then. And if I can find something that without tracing attached to it, I'll let you know. And I'll go and start searching the local market.
All right. Are you going to be looking for any sort of land speeder that you're able to find, or are you going to focus your search on a non-tracked one?
I'm going to go ahead and focus my search since there are concerns about it being tracked.
Ron can Ron assist using tech here?
I'll say yes for actually like checking to make sure that you're getting what you're buying.
Okay.
All right.
So that'll add 2.
Yep. And this role is I would accept either subterfuge or investigation in order to find what you would more consider to be some of the more local black market activity, because that's where you would start finding non-tracked items. Because normally land speeders are equipped with, like rental ones, are equipped with a return feature that can be remote activated. So if you don't want one with that, you're going to probably need to talk to some black market individual.
Right. I've got a point in both. Is there either one you'd recommend over the other?
It just depends about which way your character is going to be going about it. Are they more going to utilize their own experience in such things in order to find where it's likely to be? Or are they going to use their investigatory skills in order to try and find signs of it existing somewhere?
Alright. I'm going to go and go subterfuge then. That'd be a subterfuge, mind, and... Which expertise would you say most fits? I'm thinking either logic or cunning, but...
Probably cunning if you're going with the subterfuge route. I will give you +1 dice if you use it.
I will go with cunning. Alright, so...
With 2 extra dice.
Yep. Alright, so my total is 2, 3, 4... plus 1 extra because Tal and what you said, and... So that's 5, plus 2 more from...
Correct. From Krill.
So, from Krill, so that's a total of 7?
And 2 from Ron. I think.
9 then.
Yep.
So 9.
You are making this a rather group effort, so the dice pool does start growing pretty fast.
Yeah. Hey. Part of the task. Makes sense.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh, nice.
That's
7
a pretty
successes.
good start for the first official roll of this game.
Yeah.
Nice.
Work makes the dream work.
Rude. All right. So, with that sort of roll, utilizing a mix of experience as well as just looking out for some of the signs that you know generally tend to be a pretty good signifier of this being where black market activity is taking place. Notably, suddenly there's almost no Imperials around, or if there are any sort of Imperial anything, they're very specifically not taking a close look at anything. And
They're the ones that have been paid off.
They're the ones that have been paid off. And it takes a little bit of looking around, but you do manage to find an area that fits basically all of these. And, you're looking around, you're feeling things out a bit, And pretty quickly, there is someone that's kind of like, in a full body
This
suit.
is the dankest
Right.
dungeon.
Jim and underscore tipped $5.03. Razim Evil.
Thank you for the tip, Demon. That is the first tier of the tip goal completed. And congrats on being the first tipper for the game.
Those 3 cents trigger me.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's there to encourage other people to input a little bit. Anyways, I'm able to find a seller then.
You would be able to locate at least someone that's related to the black market. And it's pretty obvious that they are, considering that they are wearing like a full body concealing suit with like, a helmet on. Because you've been going around checking out a couple of different things, and you've been in the low Imperial presence sector for a little while now, and so you've drawn at least a little bit of attention of potentially being a discerning buyer.
Yeah, giving off the right signs for someone of that sort to approach with a deal. Then.
Yeah.
All right.
Which would be them go ahead and walk up to you. They'll sort of lean against a wall slightly and just go, "Hey, I heard you were in the market for a couple of items. You got any more specifics about what you're looking for, and I could try and help you out a bit?"
Depends. Do you know where I can find an untraced speeder?
Depends on the type of speeder you want. What are you looking for? Something personal, some transportation, maybe of goods.
Looking to transport some kind folks across the planet for a little bit. Take them on a little bit of a tour.
Oh, a tour. So obviously you just got some privacy concerns going on. Got some discerning people you're looking to show around.
Of course.
All right. And about how many discerning individuals are you looking to transport?
Including crew. Somewhere around 7.
7? Okay. And would you be looking to carry any sort of gear with that, or I don't know how long your tour is gonna be, so I could actually recommend something like what about an AA3 light speeder truck? Could fit some people up front, can fit some people in the bed, and you got a bit of storage space.
Sounds nice. What's the asking price?
Well, A3 is a little bit old, so isn't going to be too much. It'll be, let's say, 300 a day, and just don't get it too damaged or lose it. Because if you get it damaged, you're paying for repairs, and if you lose it, well, that's 7,000 credits to replace it.
All right.
Purvis would not speak this, but maybe we should just buy it. Provided the ship can actually hold it,
The ship could.
Yeah.
The ship could definitely hold it. It would use up. It would just permanently use up some of your storage capacity.
Yeah. But something like that would also be possibly be useful for transporting cargo to and from places once on planet.
That's true.
Yeah, so why rent if you could just buy?
Right. You check something real fast. 7,000. we all right with using ship credits on that? If
A generous
given that it would be going to the ship basically.
Mr. Dragon 114.
I mean, it's for the party, so
Yeah.
out of character, yes.
All right.
But Fergus
cool.
isn't officially part of the team yet.
Right.
I would be fine with
7,000. Think I could just buy it off you for that?
Well, if you're buying it off of me for 7,000, part of the replacement thing is also that I'd be making the rent money on it. But why don't you just toss in a day's worth of rent on it, and just to give me a little something extra?
7,300.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I can make that deal, assuming I'm allowed to inspect it before we seal the deal on that.
Oh, of course.
All right. Then I think we have a deal then.
All right, and they'll reach out with a gloved hand to shake.
And I'll shake in turn.
All right. After the handshake is completed, they'll just make a single follow me gesture and start walking down a couple of different alleys.
Also, in case I did say it, because ADHD brain, not sure if I actually did, thank you for that tip, Mr. Dragon. Thank you so much for the support. It's hugely appreciated. That's the second tier of the tip goal completed.
Nice. All right, and so you're going to be led down a couple of different alleys before eventually being taken to what looks to be a minorly rundown storage area.
All right.
Where they'll go ahead and open up one of the bays to show a speeder truck.
All right. And I have with me let's see, who all was assisting me earlier?
Krill and Ron.
Krill and Ron. I'm assuming one of you guys actually has some skill in inspecting stuff like this.
I mean, yeah. May I make a mind? I guess innovation would make sense. A mind innovation tech roll here.
Yeah, sure. If you're looking to inspect the goods.
Arf is going to go up as well and add 1 dot. Either appraisal or technology for that.
Okay. We'll save the resources for that now. So 2.
All right. And for reference, just for the item that you're buying, this is the AA5, which is like an enclosed and armored version of it. So, just take away the enclosing on the back and turn it into a flatbed with the cap in the front. So this is like an upgraded armored version of it.
Okay. Yeah.
So you're buying one of those.
All right. an AA5.
You're buying an AA3 Dre light speeder truck, but yeah.
AA3. You said light speeder truck?
Yeah, there isn't really a good image for it, but it's basically one of these with the back enclosing and the gun removed.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So inspection doesn't show any problems.
Nope. It is as close to a legitimate good as you can really get with a black market deal. By definition,
Alright.
it's not legitimate, but you are getting what you're paying for. Obviously,
yeah.
this thing isn't exactly new and all of that, but it is fairly well maintained. No problems, none of that.
Okay.
Because you're not exactly buying some sort of factory new item here.
Right.
No, of
It's
course
not
not.
gonna immediately sputter and die on us.
No, it won't die
Yeah.
on you. It's just, you aren't exactly buying premium quality here.
Hey, you know what they say about old stuff? The old stuff that lasts is the old stuff that you're gonna find.
A kind gesture.
So, all right, AA3 light speeder truck.
Thank you for the tip, Mala.
Yee. 392. Nice.
Okay, Garou, buddy, you're on voice. You're part of the cast here. You can speak on voice.
You can, yes.
You can
That is-
absolutely speak up.
Yeah.
All right, AA3 light speeder truck, but okay. All right, you're gonna
Alright.
go ahead and get it back to the ship. Any issues with that?
Nope. Especially considering you are in fact you are capable of driving things that are so much more complicated and less put together than this thing is.
Thank you.
I mean,
Alright.
you do have a specialty for piloting on the ground, so
Yes.
you have land piloting specialty, so there's no check to be made with this, even if you're driving this thing first time. It's a truck.
Right. It's a truck.
It's a truck.
It's a pickup truck, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like a pickup truck, but it's a flatbed.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
You'd probably only need to make a roll if we're, going drifting with it or something like that.
if we're in a chase.
Go with Tokyo Drift with our flatbed truck.
I could do it.
And thank you so much for that tip, Chris. Yes, support to me does help Rex out as well because we're in the same house. But that is the third tier of the tip goal completed.
It's a maneuver where, instead of drifting, it's the Sharlissian shift.
Sharlissian shift.
But yeah, so you don't have to make any sort of roll for this. Obviously, if you start trying to drive this in the middle of combat, that is an entirely different set of circumstances.
Yeah.
Right. Of course.
So
Okay.
you have obtained your truck.
I've obtained truck.
Da 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 da.
Get it back, no issues.
No issues.
Alright.
Obviously there's a fair bit of traffic, but that's also because you're in the capital city of a trade area, so
Right.
it's just like a slightly boring trip back where you spend more time in traffic than not.
That is awesome art, by the way.
Nothing too unusual.
I was going to share this earlier, but yes, I've gotten some art of Furvis.
A generous bestowal.
And
And
Chris,
another
thank you so
Prison
much.
14 next tip $16. Let's just finish it off.
Thank you so much for that tip. That is the tip goal fully completed.
Yay.
Local
Plus
contact
92 cents.
completed.
Hey, Chris,
$2.92.
to be fair, the tips are more helpful than subs because I get the money right away and I don't have Twitch taking half of it.
Yep.
Right.
But this art was done by Sweet Macchiato.
Ooh.
Nice.
And it's Furvis doing some maintenance on ARF. Which, by the way, I realized also just now that I never actually introduced ARF. ARF is his astromech. It's an R4 F3. He calls him ARF. Furvis is 9 feet, is almost 9 feet tall, and Arf is 3 feet tall.
It just shows the scale. It looks like a little finger toy.
Yeah,
Just a bit.
Lothwolves are massive.
I am only 8 inches taller than that mech, than that droid. All right.
So Furvis sits in the flatbed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, he could fit in the
Alright.
cabin, but the only other person who could fit in the cab if he was in there would be the pilot, and they'd be like pressed up against him. So I think he'd prefer to be
Yeah.
on the flatbed, actually.
Probably, yeah. All right. Your brave captain has returned with transportation.
Excellent.
All right.
Furvis will not be there.
Sen, where's your wolf?
Sen will, cancel his meditation yet again, and just go, "Oh, Furvis is his own person. He does not belong to me in any way."
Oh, I thought he was with you. Huh.
Not in particular. I think he just felt that this was important for him for some reason, and felt the need to follow along. And I have no reason to go against that.
Wait a
Arf is
moment.
going to go up and do one of those holographic displays showing a GPS location for where Furvis went, which is just outside of town on the way towards the destination.
Looks like he has decided to go ahead of us. Well, everyone, go ahead and load up and get ready to roll out. We'll seems we'll be meeting our wolf friend along the way.
Wise.
Fair enough.
Sounds good.
I can imagine why that he wanted to stretch his legs.
There isn't that much room for him to move around in the back of the ship, after all.
No, not really. Given he's a 9-foot wolf.
Yeah, this thing was rated for like 7 people, not giant wolves.
And he's like 2 of them? No.
But yes,
Oh.
time to
Arfor
get this
just
show on the road.
watches.
Arfor
But
does
he
just
was-
watch.
He was
As everyone's
pleasant on the
talking,
trip, though.
as everyone's talking, he's gonna like turn his head like towards like Amy like properly, and just kind of like make the graphic get a bit bigger and start blinking the dot.
So, can the astromech get into the vehicle on its own? Or do we have to like pick it up and put it in the flatbed?
The astromech turns his head to you, turns off the display, and uses the jets that he's equipped with to just get onto the truck immediately himself while looking at you the entire time. There is a small trill
Yeah.
binary as they land.
I think they have it covered.
Yeah, I think they have that covered. Come on, everyone, load up, and I go ahead and get back in the driver's seat.
Ron will sit in navigator's position, unless somebody else thinks they'd be better off there.
Shame on me for making sure you didn't get left behind, little buddy. All right, let's get going.
Despite being an old man, Sen will be able to get onto the truck with literally no difficulty.
Krill is pondering.
Anyone looking at him, go ahead if you wish and make a perception check at +2 difficulty. Barnaby, you would be able to make it at standard difficulty.
Okay, hold on.
Nope. Not paying that close attention to him.
All right, cool.
Yeah, say Ron's focused on the path ahead.
Perception +2. So.
Yep, which means you'd be looking for 9s.
2.
If you're trying to use the code thing, where it says S7F1, change the 7 there to a 9. If you're looking to use the auto code.
Yes, so that's mind, perception, and yeah, logic, I guess, or cunning. All right, so then run that.
Nice.
All right. As he gets up onto the truck, you two would be able to notice that you see a flash of metal underneath his cloak. It's not much, and it's for some reason it's just really hard to focus on it, but you do see it. Barnaby, would you like to be making that check or no? Barnaby is potentially kill.
Sorry. I was putting together a bit of information to throw something together. Because amongst other things, Barnaby does a lot of rituals. Some of which might be a little outlandish, but he is an Ewok shaman that has been off-world and on a starship. So he's been, let's call it improvising. And he might have forced rituals specifically for mechanical things.
This could only go well.
It can only go well.
Yes.
But yes, what was happening?
If you want, while Sen was getting onto the truck, you could make a perception check. Everyone else is at difficulty 9. You're at difficulty 7.
Then I will do so. Let's see what I get. Let's see. So I'm basically just rolling normal then.
You're rolling normal. Everyone else is rolling at handicap.
Okay. So body perception, I'd imagine.
Sure.
3, 4. Playing a fresh character.
Yep. You don't have too much right now.
No.
Oof.
Oh
Well,
dear.
that do be how it is. I don't even have enough soul. Wait, no, I do technically have enough
you
soul.
have-
Do I care?
Yeah, you should
It's
have.
probably not
have
important
2
enough.
boost.
Barnaby got
No.
some dust in his eye.
Whereas Regis is just, yeah, it looks like a concealed weapon of some sort.
I will allow
won't
it to
judge.
pass.
You're allowing that to pass. You're taking the -1.
I will take the -1.
All right. With that, Botch, Barnaby, you're pretty sure that this guy has metal skin underneath his cloak.
Ooh.
After all, what other reason could you possibly have for seeing metal underneath his cloak?
All right, everyone settled in.
Yes, boss.
We're good back
Alright.
here.
So we are going
Cool.
to temple, yes?
Then we're off. And I go ahead and start driving us out.
All right. After leaving the more city center area, you would be able to pretty quickly, like the traffic starts to clear up, and you're able to actually make your way out of the city. It probably takes like an hour to properly get out, where over half of that is literally just spent trying to get out of traffic at the center.
Right.
Outside the city.
Go ahead.
Suddenly the vehicle just gets heavier.
Boom. Was that our wolf friend back there?
He's inside.
I would.
What?
Oh, did he get into the cabin area?
Well, the bed. But the bed's
The bed,
covered,
yeah.
isn't it?
Okay.
No, they
No,
got the
it's-
uncovered version.
Oh,
We got
okay.
the uncovered.
Yeah, pickup truck.
Okay.
Yep, hovering pickup truck.
You basically have a hover truck.
Yeah, he's back here.
Just felt the entire suspension go shift. Well, nice to see you made it.
Figured it'd be better
Now.
I wasn't in the town.
Yes, loaf wolves aren't exactly the most conspicuous things.
Oh,
I mean-
you don't know that loaf wolves exist.
We don't know that's a loaf wolf. Just that's a very big wolf. Or a very big
Very
dog.
small wolf.
They haven't been rediscovered yet, technically.
A very big.
I just
talking
assumed Krill would have read, like, legends and saying, oh, that looks like one.
Well, if you want that to be the case, roll a lore check.
Okay.
Yeah.
Possible,
Hey,
possible
you're
rewind
well read,
here.
right?
Possible.
Nope.
Yeah, these things, they've been thought to
This
be
is gonna be
extinct
awesome.
for a long time,
Yes,
actually.
it
Like a
is.
couple of centuries.
We have no reason to suspect that it is indeed.
Huh? One.
We got a single success.
A whole one.
A whole
Probably
one.
not enough.
That is not enough to know that they're a lawful. I mean, that
It's
is
just
enough
those
to
is a
realize there's probably
big
something
ol'-
going on with them, because you don't remember there really being many wolves that are that big.
Okay, rewind a little and be like, okay, Krill is gonna file this away for later.
All right.
Just thinking to
Okay.
herself, interesting.
So did I just see you teleport in front of me?
Yes, that's how we got on. But if you're saying that in character, he just kind of looks at you.
Well, what
Regis,
was the
you're
point
being
of
looked at.
what was the point of having the tracking device if you can just do that?
It was so you could get closer. And so I know when you're passing by. Give me a moment, gotta find something real quick.
Oh, okay.
And Regis is definitely averting his gaze because he just got a little bit more attention, so he tried to. But it is.
He's realized he has gotten the attention of the 9-foot tall wolf.
Furfus licks his
No.
chops.
No question, our kind, discerning passenger there. Their business is their own, and unless they make it our business.
Regis, Sen will like lead over to you slightly and just go, luckily for me, I'm already paying them to care about my business.
Yeah,
That was supposed to be a joke. You're allowed to laugh. Will Regis respond?
Oh, he would have said, "Yeah, it's a good thing they are. Gave me an opportunity too."
I wonder what opportunity you're looking for. But regardless of that, I wish you the best of luck with it.
Thanks, friend.
We'll just kind of give you a nod and go back to meditating. Fervus, he is very obviously going back to doing some minor meditation for shenaniganry, and Barnaby, you can definitely feel that this guy's using some force powers.
Barnaby is very interested, considering that he has one casted silently and cast without ritual. So I think he'd like to try and roll insight on this man's casting methods.
Oh, interesting. Go ahead.
DM
Go
approves.
for. Ooh.
Nice.
A good result. The literal exact opposite of your previous one.
It is. Yeah. Amazing.
All right. Barnaby, this is really interesting to you. Because it looks like... So a couple of the principles are the same. However, it seems that he has a lot more control over things than you are used to seeing. Where instead of utilizing any sort of artifacts or rituals in order to focus things, it seems like he, by himself, is more than enough. And you can tell that this is a very practiced thing for him, where he has effectively like ingrained this ability into himself as a part of his natural abilities, rather than relying on or calling upon anything else.
Barnaby is interested. Casting with no catalyst. Fascinating. Barnaby is not ready for this to attempt this level of thing, but he will be remembering this.
Imagine Barnaby, the little Ewok, just staring intently at Sen, wandering around them back and forth, noting.
Just like slow, ominous nodding of head.
Yes.
Which is probably more worrying for Barnaby to be doing than anything, because it also means he doesn't feel like he needs to comment on it.
And Regis just sitting
Considering
in
the things that Barnaby is willing to say, red flags, folks.
Yeah, Regis is just.
Would Krill notice this, or would she need to roll a perception on this?
What are you saying,
is
Garou?
Barnaby attempting to hide it in any way?
No.
Then no.
Okay, so Krill's gonna reach over and be like, "What are you scheming?"
I scheme nothing other than self-improvement.
Worries me.
I might ask this man to be my mentor, however.
That's even more worrying.
What were you saying, Garou?
I was just saying, while this is going on, Regis is just kind of sitting in the corner of the truck, being rather quiet now, with his legs folded and his left arm kind of propped over his right, kind of just pointed in the general direction of everyone.
The Regis has gotten nervous about things, apparently.
Oh, the
It's
giant
Regis.
lobster. Yeah.
Regis? Okay. New character pronunciations, yay.
Let's see what local tunes are on. Click, click. Turn on radio.
What you were saying about Furvis? I will drag you into the spotlight, Garou.
Earlier, you licked your chops and you kind of were standing very menacingly while you were talking. So, yeah, that's what I character did. He just changed his pose and kind of sat in the corner of the truck with his left arm just slightly raised, propped against his right.
Furvis has no response
Welcome
to this.
to the hamlet.
The moment you turn on the radio, some Glimmick starts to play.
Glimmick. Okay.
Glimmick, do you know what Glimmick is?
Not in particular. I assume it's music.
It is music. That is true. Basically, it's like I think the best way I could describe it is like pop rock.
Okay.
So it's like really like high energy. It's very popular at stuff like shock ball courts, and with occasionally also some pod racing stuff. It's a very high energy type of music.
Then I'd probably be pretty into it.
Yeah.
Alright. So, push and speed limit. About how long does it would it take us to get there?
You'd probably start getting there. It's not like quite nighttime, but it's probably like 5 p.m. evening.
When we get to the location?
Yep. Which it takes a little bit to realize that you're there because, you know, the coordinates, you know, they say you're there, and you're looking around and you're not really seeing a temple. But, you know, there is a large amount of like, you know, like forest there.
Yeah.
So
They
maybe
said
it's just nearby.
The coordinates say we're here, but I'm not seeing anything. You know what we're looking for?
Sen will look around a little bit before just pointing off in a direction into the woods and go, it's in that direction.
Alright. Turn to that direction and start heading that way.
Alright. This would be about the point where you'd have to hop out of the... You'd be able to get a little bit in before it starts getting thicker. But at one point you will actually have to like stop using it just because the trees get thick enough that you'd probably have to start ramming it through them, and that isn't recommended.
Come to a stop. Alright. Seems we're as close as we're gonna get. From here on, it's hiking it on out.
Furvis is going to stand up from laying in the bed, give a big stretch, and then just poof out of the bed of the truck. Just to the side, but why, why jump out if you can just teleport?
I mean, who's all staying with the truck, and who's heading in with Sen?
I would love to go, or if you want me to stay here, I can inspect the truck my way.
No
not-
need, Barnaby.
Barnaby,
got
feel
that
free to
under
head with Sen.
control.
Krill, you staying with the truck then?
I will stay with the truck. and make sure Barnaby stays out of trouble.
Just Barnaby makes his offer immediately as like half the rest of the party just starts going, no, 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 no.
Now hold on. I've been thinking of this one for a long time. I could attempt to awaken the Iron Beast.
No.
We've only had the truck for a day, but Barnaby, give us a little time to get to know this Iron Beast in its current state before you go awakening anything.
Okay.
Besides,
but
I
what
would
if-
rather not have to walk back to the spaceport.
Then what if I try to place a stray spirit inside of it, the windshield?
Not right now,
No.
Barnaby. Go see what.
I appreciate your
what-
enthusiasm, Barnaby, but I think you want to pay attention to Sen for a little bit if
I
your
will pay
actions earlier are any indication.
Now, that's... He will stop his statement and just pick up his staff.
Krill will give Barnaby a helpful push towards the rest of the group.
All right, so out
Barnaby
of
will
game,
argue
who
no
all wants
longer.
to actually go in with Sen? And keep in mind, you are not required to go inside with Sen in any way.
Of course Barnaby wants to follow this mysterious, powerful man.
Purvis
Regis
does
was
as
gonna
well.
do it.
What is Regis?
Regis is gonna go with him as well. Yeah, he was paid to help make sure this gentleman gets to where he needs to go.
Which is why it reminds you, you technically only need to escort him to the temple. You don't need to go and in with him.
Alright. So it looks like we already have half the crew heading in. That's Barnaby, Purvis, and Regis.
Krill is staying with the truck to make sure nothing happens to it.
And Ron?
Same.
Alright. Heads, tails. I'll go ahead and go with. Keep an eye on our paycheck for this.
Oh, do not worry about that. If something were to happen to me, and I am in one of the locations that is sent, as I do have a comm link, of course. There will still be credits transferred into your account.
I didn't say that out loud. That's how I'm thinking.
Okay. So that was not like an in-character comment. Got it.
No. That wasn't an
wondering.
in character.
None shall see me.
I mean, that is a
Oh,
pilot
my
thing
battle
to
cry
say.
may
Anyway.
give me away.
Oh no.
Boy.
It's a minor though.
First
It's
take
a minor.
and first influence. Let's go.
Yeah.
Woo!
To be fair, they're not allowed to use the larger ones right now.
Yeah,
Yeah, minor and medium only.
but still, it's Geemond.
That's
It's
true.
still a scheming. So who knows?
All right. So just to verify, Krill and Ron staying with the truck. Everyone else following after Sen.
Sounds right. Yep.
Yep.
Cool. In that case, Krill, as you are looking after the truck, looking around, keeping your eyes peeled for anything, because who knows when some wildlife might come by and cause trouble.
Mhm.
You would be able to notice that in the skies above, there are more than a few clouds that are in the shape of fish.
She's gonna look up and be like, she's gonna tilt her head a little. It'd be like, those clouds kind of look like fish.
Ron looks
I
up.
want fish.
Ron looks up, kind of confused. What?
Look at them.
They're just clouds.
But it looks kind of like a fish, don't it?
I guess.
What do you see?
Does he see anything different?
palled.
Gazing at clouds is all about interpretation, so that's up to you, really.
I was gonna say, like, you could definitely see that, like, some of the clouds. Hold on. Sneeze. You can definitely see that some of the clouds are definitely in a fish adjacent shape.
Bless you.
Gesundheit.
Canoodles.
I guess I see that. What? You hungry or something?
I'm okay. Maybe a little
Alright.
bit, but I'll be all right.
All right.
You guys would know that I would packed some travel rations in the back of the truck with you guys, in case you guys did get hungry.
Gotcha.
And Krill has her own set of rations in her backpack.
For the record, I think Arf probably would have stayed at the truck.
Oh, okay. Yeah, unless it's otherwise stated, I'm just going to, like, assume that Arf is with you, but yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I'm going to mention it.
Yeah. So in that case, Arf is going to stay with the truck as well.
Furvis doesn't want to
Alright.
clean branches and leaves and stuff out of the gears.
Understandable. So, the other four of you, Amy, Barnaby, Furvis, and Regis, are going to be following behind Sen, who leads you a couple minutes into the woods before it clears out slightly, and what is unmistakably, like, something that looks like a temple has, like, sort of like comes into view. It's very overgrown. Nature has kind of like grown around it, but the doorway seems to be completely untouched. And the walls, despite everything else and it being overgrown, still look very smooth.
Well, very kind of the vegetation to leave the doorway clear. Huh. A little suspicious. Whatever.
Very suspicious.
I'm not being paid to look into it, just being paid to make sure our client gets where they need to go safely.
Yep.
Oh, interesting.
Furvis and Barnaby, you two can make me perception checks at -1 difficulty.
Oh boy.
Well, I was supposed to be registered as Furvis, but,
Correct roll still. All right. With that, Barnaby, this building is also definitely like force attuned in some way. And Furvis, you'll notice the same thing, and with a little bit extra, where you get the feeling that this place might be a little bit more dark side aligned.
How homey. We do not have places like this. On the ship. We should.
Furvis is going to shoot a look over at Sen, but shrug and proceed in.
All right. The doors are made of Durasteel. And it doesn't really look like there's a good way to get in. There isn't like, some sort of like, pad to type on in order to get into the building. It just kind of looks like a door with no handle. Would you like to attempt to do anything, or are you going to wait to see what Sen does?
Well, would Furvis know, to use the Force with this at all, or...
Well,
I feel like there's a good
I don't-
chance he would know that, but...
I'd say that it'd definitely be something where, regardless of anything else, this is a building that has a large amount of force attunement to it, and if you don't see another way of getting in logically or even instinctually, like, there isn't too much else you could really try to do. So I'd say you could definitely have the feeling that you could try using the Force to open this place up.
He'll go ahead and try.
All right. In that case, that will be a presence check.
All right. Gonna go with instinct still, plus body.
Okay.
Meh. Body boost. Okay, I guess I'm living with that one.
I guess you are. With that, you are able to reach out and make at least some level of connection. But as you are able to attune slightly to the building then proceeds to reject you.
He's going to growl.
Everything all right, Furvis?
That's not how you do it. You must ask politely.
This has something to do with the whole magic you guys that you do, Barnaby. Gotcha. All right.
Barnaby is going to look around for a stray stone.
You're at a force. You could very easily find a stray stone.
Yes, very good.
What, you mean he doesn't have to roll to see if there's a stone around?
Well, of course not. He's not in a cave or anything.
Oh, that is going to be a meme forever.
Another session, something happened.
Oh, prior storyteller that somebody was we were in a cave and somebody asked, I'm gonna grab a stone off the floor, and the storyteller's like, give me a perception check. Why?
Really?
To see if you find a stone. In a cave? Really?
In a cave full of rocks.
The thing made entirely of a rock.
Alright.
It's like one of those, you can't see the forest through the trees. You can't see the rocks through the cave.
Now, Barnaby is going to place down a wooden bowl and fill it with water from his flask before placing the stone inside. Then he will sit cross-legged, taking the bowl and placing it betwixt his legs. Then he will cut his finger and drop a little bit of blood onto the stone as it is barely peeking out from the surface of the water, and then place a claw over it and close his eyes, chanting softly, "The world forgets nothing. Show me what it remembers." As he is going to try and allow the world to examine him, or at least this area.
All right.
Furvis is just tilting his head in confusion and bewilderment at what the teddy bear is doing.
What the teddy bear is doing.
All right. So, Barnaby, would you like to make your check to attempt to open this facility?
He's trying to He is trying to commune with the ambient force first. He has a different ritual for that.
All right. In that case,
Air quotes, increase his affinity.
all right.
It is like offering your hand to a strange dog.
All right. In that case, this will be a. Let's go with insight.
All right. I also have performance and survival.
All right. Take +1 dice for your little impromptu ritual here.
All right.
Spoiler alert! Out of game, it's more about the blood for this.
Yeah.
The rock didn't matter.
Dang.
All right. What specialty were you using, and do you want to attempt to modify this at all?
I was using instinct.
Instinct. Okay. And are you going to lock in that roll?
I will lock in that roll.
All right. In that case, you think it has something to do with either imposing or demanding or challenging or something of that nature.
I see. He is going to take out the rock, and then he is going to drink the water before putting the bowl away.
All right.
And now he's going to go over to the door. I understand. More so than I did before. And now he's going to open the door as he is going to be aggressively channeling force against it.
All right. Does that mean you're using forceful?
I am.
All right. Please take +2 dice.
Would this be presence emit, or
this would still be presence? Yes.
Okay. And this is gonna be my first big roll.
Nice.
I forgot you got the +2 dice and was so confused at how you had that many dice already.
Yeah, no, who would have thought that the dark aligned area is like, yes, you are being forceful. I like this.
I understand. I am no longer asking. Open.
I'm no longer asking. You shall open before me.
All right. Well, with this, I will say that it's sluggish and slow, and like you get the feeling that you have barely passed whatever muster it was looking for, but the door slowly starts to creak open with like a grinding noise as the temple begins to open.
So how was that different from me growling at it? What happened to the politeness?
Sometimes polite doesn't work. You have to bring its nose close to you so you can punch it.
This feels like a slight character shift.
To the Loth Wolf.
This feels like the character just shifted a little bit in personality.
Probably because he tried to attune with it.
Probably.
Regis is just sitting there watching these two try and open the door when it was clearly the other guy who we were bringing here. Did he just stand there and like watch them?
Oh yeah, he let them try.
Okay.
If listen,
Sen probably could have opened it, no issue.
Oh yeah,
Listen.
he could have instantly opened that shit.
He just
Listen.
found it amusing watching these two apprentice level people attempt it.
Listen, when you offer a token of friendship and the other party raises their hind leg, you are assuming that negotiations have broken down.
Whatever you say,
It's all
Barnaby.
good to see some younglings taking their first steps. If you will excuse me, I will now be heading inside. You are not required to enter with me in any way.
Fervis is
Oh,
moving
but I
in.
like this place. Oh, but I like this.
I'll go and keep an eye at the door. Keep watching the door. Holler if you need anything.
All right, how's Regis feeling?
Regis is going to cautiously approach the doorway, but he's not going to go in first. He's letting those people all go ahead, and he's going to be looking around, very alert.
All right. In that case, as you go, as they go inside, nothing really seems to happen. But Sen will look back at you and just go, "Oh, and Regis, I would recommend not touching anything while you're in here."
You cut out for part of that.
He's going to look back at Regis and just go, "I would recommend not touching anything while you're in here. It probably wouldn't be the best idea for you."
Barnaby will also be joining him though.
Oh
Of
yeah.
course he's stepping inside the dark temple. Of course.
Barnaby triggering his inner Patrick Star. Touch everything.
Wait. As Barnaby is going to do one thing for Regis first, though. As he is now going to start collecting scattered leaves before throwing them at Regis. And then,
Aggressively. No.
and then using his move, forest wrapping.
Ah.
Regis would have covered his face as you tried to throw a bunch of leaves at him.
Well, congratulations! You're getting that was a pretty acceptable roll, as you now have 4 points of preventative healing. May this be a barrier between you and misfortune. The leaves are clinging to you in odd fashion.
Yeah, Regis would try and brush the leaves off and then realize that they're not coming off, and he'd stop.
We shall see you in some period of time. Goodbye. We shall see you.
You're a very strange little chew toy, aren't you?
I am. So polite of you to notice.
All right. Sen is going to be spending his time going around to various locations on the inside of the temple. Occasionally he is able to find, an artifact. He never picks up or touches any of these, but he does seem to, appraise and consider them.
Fervis is going to go up next to him. So what are these?
These are... Well, they aren't the most useful things, but they are some rather old and Force-aligned objects. I'm hoping that deeper in the temple I'll be able to find some more interesting things to study and learn about, but at least for now, these will have to do. I highly doubt that we're going to run across anything dangerous in... Well, I won't say any of these places, but at least in these ones I'm not expecting them. These are some of the more recent ones, and it's the older ones you have to watch out for. And he'll give, like, a small, like, smile and a wink as he says that. Considering, you know, he's an old man.
Fair, fair. So what are they used for?
Well, this one, it seems, as he points to what's effectively like, you know, a little like sculpture type thing. It has like, you know, a lot of twists and bends as it folds over itself multiple times. Sort of like in a cylindrical like overall shape. That one in particular looks like it does some okay. This one is more used to help those that are less adept and sensitive attune themselves slightly.
Fascinating. And then Barnaby ignores it.
Yes. He will go, I would highly recommend against touching anything that you see in here for either of anyone, but you two in particular probably have at least enough sense to not just reach out and touch things in a place like this. And if you don't, then it will be a great learning lesson.
Hence I am asking.
Yep. Fervis, you did take the danger sense thing, right?
Yes.
Alright, I just wanted to make sure, in case it ends up coming up.
The common sense?
No, not the common sense one, the danger sense where you're able to feel impending doom.
Oh, that was the one you were asking for. Actually,
Yeah.
that would make more sense for him. So if it's okay, I'll switch it to that.
Yeah, just swap to that.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's one for common sense and there's the other one for danger sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, I know I just heard the thing from Zimzen, so I'll ignore that for now. Barnaby and Regis, are
Wait,
either of you going
what
to
thing?
do it? Oh, because I heard you mute, so I thought you were dealing with, like, a call or something.
Oh, no. That was somebody else that got the call.
Oh, okay. It was just in the middle of you talking, and then you stopped, so I was like, oh, I guess that was him.
Yeah, Regis is very much looking but not touching because, yeah, he knows he's out of his element in this area, so he's following the instructions, but he's still going to look at things.
Barnaby might like to try practicing appraising potential force items to see if he can tell the difference.
All right. In that case, go ahead and make...
This is a chance of good learning opportunities.
It is. Go ahead and make me 2 checks, one being appraise and the other being academics.
All right, here comes the appraise. Yep. And here's the academics. Oh! Okay.
Very nice. Well, with the appraise, you're having a hard time discerning. I think that's the best way of putting it. You're having a hard time discerning what something is actually supposed to do and what it's currently doing. But you are able to at least pick up a little bit on, okay, this is force attuned in some way. which is interestingly easier to do than normal and more difficult, because this entire building is at least minorly force attuned. Not as much as these artifacts and relics are, but it does provide a certain amount of like ambient energy to become used to, without it while it's also making it hard to specifically appraise. But you do get the feeling that, well, you can probably, so long as there's either a sufficient amount of it, either in overall amount or concentration, you could probably, with a bit of focus, start to feel when force-related items are around. At least as something that you think you'll be able to learn and pick up. Right now, that's still, outside of your reach, but it definitely seems like it's a possibility.
Well, in some manners, he's pleased with his progress. He's feeling maybe even just slightly a little advanced. If we come back to this planet, he's definitely returning to compare himself.
Fair. Fervis, you doing anything in particular, or are you just like following around and...
He is going to be asking a lot of questions of Sen. He is very curious, but he's not attempting to like attune or anything to the place.
Okay. In that case, he will answer your questions. He won't go like, too much in depth about things. But he will at least, like, give you a small little basic explanation about, most things that you're asking about. And he will lead basically anyone following deeper and deeper inside to the temple, where he starts to approach the area that he did mention earlier as hoping that it had some more interesting or powerful things to study inside. And there is one interesting thing that will be happening. Could I get perception checks from everybody?
Yes.
Including those outside or just those in?
Those that are inside.
Okay.
Fervis, take -1 difficulty from the whole danger sense thing. It isn't flaring entirely, but you're getting like a little prick.
Okay.
Barnaby remains clueless.
Oh, for the love of... Regis, save us!
Maybe I shouldn't have made a move and instead spent all that experience. No, I lie. I lied to myself now. I would definitely.
I guess Regis is saving you guys.
Yes, I've been very much being very cautious and very alert as I've been going around in here. So yeah, it makes sense I would be paying attention to things.
Fervis is slightly distracted by trying to take in and learn as much as he can from everything.
Barnaby is practically scrutinizing the walls.
With no force perception, you have to rely on your other senses.
All right. Well, so what's going to happen is, Regis, you will notice something very peculiar. As you're following behind a little bit, so that way, you're close enough in case anything happens, but you're also far enough back that you can keep a good view of things. You notice that as Sen begins to open up the like the more like inner sanctum kind of area, it's pretty obvious what it is. In the top corner of your vision, you will see a flash of very small flash of metal and light as it looks like something has activated. And you think it's some form of droid.
All right. At that point, Regis would say, "Are there droids in this place?"
I don't believe there is.
Furvis is looking around more.
At this point, Regis is going to raise his arm up and kind of point his left hand up towards that area where he saw that droid. And as he does, he's going to kind of crack his wrist a little, and his blaster is going to unfold out of his sleeve as he points up in that direction.
All right. Are you going to shoot at it at all, or are you just like
Readying?
pointing gun?
I'm not going to shoot anything in this place unless it attacks me, but I am definitely not going to just relax. If it makes an aggressive action, I'll attack it.
All right. Sen will turn his attention in that direction, and then just go, good eye. Now, obviously, you know better than to go and gossip about anything you see inside of one of these places, right?
Nobody visits these places. In fact, even our truck was never here.
Good. And he'll point himself, turn his wrist, and then crook a single finger as what seems to be a small droid, obviously unmaintained, but somehow still active, is yanked from the top corner directly into his waiting hand as he grabs it. He does wear gloves, by the way, so you don't got to worry about him catching tetanus or something, you know.
Did he smash it, or is it just...
No, he just grabbed it out of the air. He very obviously did a minor force pull of it, and then grabbed it as it flew towards him.
Okay. If you want, I can try and slice it, see what it is and what its purpose is.
Yeah, sure. Here you go. Maybe have the mechanic out there by the truck take a look at it too later.
So it is inactive right now?
It is active, but it's like very obviously like half broken, so it isn't doing much of anything.
Okay. He is going to try and cyberjack it if he can. To at least make sure it doesn't have a signal going out.
Alright, go ahead and make that tech roll.
Alright, then I've got the specialty for that.
Meanwhile, Regis will retract his gun.
Willpower.
So is this where you crash out about it? Yeah.
There we go.
All right. So, with a 3, you would be able to, after a little bit of effort, slice into this thing. A lot of your initial difficulty comes from the fact that, wow, this thing is old, and you haven't really dealt with systems this old that much. But it does look like it's equipped with, it has coding for sending out signals. It has a part of it that's obviously supposed to do it that you're able to see, but it is broke. So it could be sending a signal to somewhere if it actually worked. but it is not properly working right now.
Okay. What else can he learn about it from that? What its purpose is and such.
With that, it is supposed to be a monitoring and alert droid that is supposed to send out a signal if it gets activated. Apparently, it gets activated by movement. You're able to determine that, and it isn't able to get a reading on someone that basically like says they have authorization. So it's some form of lookout like security droid that was sequestered in the top corner that checks people's visual biometrics.
And probably sends an alert to nearby outpost or something if they're not supposed to be there.
To someone or something, and it's supposed to send out a signal. It doesn't have information on exactly to what. It just sort of has an address that it's supposed to send it to, but that part of it is literally physically broken, and so it can't do its job. But it did activate because there was movement, tried to do its thing, and it's failed to, so it's just kind of constantly rerunning that script trying to try and send the signal, and it's not able to send the signal.
He's going to turn it off and stow it away in his bag.
All right.
This could be useful for later.
So, what did you find out about it?
It was supposed to send off a signal if it detected anyone entering that wasn't authorized, but the signal part of it is broken.
Ah. Well, in that case, it looks like this place is recent enough that there's still some security around, so I guess we should be a little bit more on guard about things like that, but I'm still going to go in and look at that inner sanctum.
By all means.
Most fascinating.
These places have droid security, apparently.
Well, droids are cheap, and they don't require food. Or pay.
That, and also when coded in certain ways, you can ensure their loyalty.
Well, that part is another matter.
Well, yes, but if you're going to set up guards in a place like this forever, you might as well also make sure they're loyal. It's not a good sign if your guards are disloyal.
So can I see the droid? Does it have any outward weapons on it?
When it got pulled over and it was being inspected, you definitely could have gotten a good look at it. There isn't. I'm not going to require an appraisal check for this because the droid is it is obviously old. It's rusted over in multiple locations. There are parts of it that are obviously supposed to be there but aren't anymore, as something has happened to damage it in some way. And you're not really seeing. It's not large enough to really have any appreciable weapons in it.
This might have been the eyes of a security system.
Well, yes.
There might be more droids on the way.
It didn't get its signal out.
Too damaged?
The part that actually could send out a signal is damaged, yes.
No,
you are not getting it.
No, no, no. I don't need to acquire it. I just need to try something. I mean,
Everyone
if you cannot
just-
make use of it, I could try.
I have uses potentially for it later.
Small disappointed snap. Dang.
It is why he put it in his bag. He is going to have a
Alright.
droid army.
Arf can be its general.
Oh, but of course.
So, Sten, would you be one of the people that the droid would be looking for?
Oh, no. Absolutely not. There is no way that I am on that droid's approval list.
Good to know. Keep an eye out for nooks and crannies where there might be more droids as we advance.
And Sen will continue inside.
I am now regretting leaving Arf outside. Arf could probably do a scan for one.
Probably. But oh well. Sen will continue inside and, basically have, like, the same sort of reaction to some of the things on the inside that he was having to stuff on the outside. Before he comes across something very, very interesting to him. As he goes ahead and opens up a couple of different containers, which mostly has almost nothing on the inside. Before he manages to open up a different thing, and everyone can see that there is some form of glowing crystalline technological thing on the inside. Looks to be in a geometric shape. And he is going to immediately grab that, like actually grab it, and put it in his bag.
I'm not going to judge or question much, but I am curious what that is, if you don't mind saying.
I think the best way to describe it is that it was a, let's just say an old information storage device.
Would Furvis have any knowledge of, My brain is telling me it's Omicron, but I feel like that's...
holocron.
Holocron, that's right. Would Furvis know anything about those?
You would have gotten told about them, but you've never seen one yourself until now. Because you know that they, you would know from, the person that you got, a lot of your gear and stuff from, that, these are called holocrons, and that they tend to have Force-related knowledge inside of them.
So is it a holocron?
Be careful referring to things as such, but yes. And I will have to meditate upon the holocron greatly in order to try and access its information. They're rather hard to open.
He will nod.
Is that all we're down here for?
You say that like this little thing wouldn't cause potentially multiple wars if it was found. And enough
Barnaby
people
is
knew
now
about it.
Barnaby is now intrigued.
He probably wouldn't know all about that. Plus, I was kind of listening when he said, be careful referring it to, so yeah, I'm very much just referring it to as a thing.
In fact, most people don't even remember how to make these things anymore.
Forbidden textbook in a new language. Forbidden.
But I will have to be looking into this very, very carefully. And I will see what new things I could learn from it, and once I do so, we can go over to the next temple. Should anything be pertinent to you, I will of course inform you about it.
He will nod and just sit next to him. I'm sure he's probably not unfamiliar with spending many hours just sitting next to somebody meditating.
Oh yeah, like absolutely. As he will, as you know, he will start getting to work on it.
Meanwhile, I'm going to be looking around to make sure that him taking that thing didn't set off any kind of security droids or anything.
Go ahead and make a perception check then. Are there any places in particular you're looking?
Garou over here
okay.
doing the smart thing.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll leave the magic stuff to you guys, but we've already seen these robots, and they responded to motion, and this thing is floating right in the middle of the room on this pedestal. It's a very monitorable location. So what does this room look like? Are there, like, alcoves or places that bots might be idling? I mean, last time there was...
Yeah, so as for what this room looks like, this is more of like an inner sanctum type area where there are pedestals that have various artifacts on them, which it does there is like kind of like sections to the place. It's not like fully partitioned, but like partially, and each section seemed to have had a theme, and this was in the last little section. As for where droids could be, there are like a couple of corners and alcoves where potentially they could have been, but you didn't see anything when going through the first time.
Yeah, I presume this place is probably very dark. It's not something that is really discussed, but ancient ruins and all.
Yeah, there is not like actual light sources or external light sources that are appearing.
There's a good chance I don't actually see anything.
Yeah. What helped you see the last one was that it had a light attached to it that activated. Like a very soft, like, effectively like, droid activated, like, little mini light thing. But that was very noticeable in this place, so.
Yeah, especially when it activated in response to our motion. Also, I presume like the only thing that would probably be the light is this big glowing crystal.
Yeah. Of which it like also kind of got put into a bag.
Oh.
So the
Okay.
bag is like lightly glowing, but it sort of did turn off a lot of the ambient light.
Yeah.
He sort of like he put it like in his bag in order to like visually hide it away a bit. He's kept one hand on it, but
Okay.
just to like better explain what the situation is, he put it in a bag. He's still holding on to it though.
Yeah, that's
It's like
fair.
he didn't want this thing to be visible for any longer than it like could have been.
Yeah, because Regis is very much getting very nervous because if there's this thing that's super valuable and it's still in the place that it was, then there's a good chance that, you know, the things that were protecting it potentially are still here. But he can't see anything, but he's just going to be very much like scanning in the darkness trying to look for things.
Yep. Amy, can you give me a perception or investigation?
I'm sorry, did you say Amy?
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
okay.
you're outside the temple, so give me a quick
Yeah.
perception or investigation.
All right. I think I have the same. Given I'm not actively searching, just keeping an eye. I think it'll be perception. Mind.
Works for me.
Okay, and instinct, or is there any particular expertise you want me using?
No particular expertise, just pick whatever you think fits best.
Instinct, perception, mind. That is. So 42. Alright. That's 2 successes.
All right. With that, you know, a couple of seconds ago, you could have swore that you heard the same sort of like stone scraping noise that that kind of existed before when it originally opened. But you're not really seeing any differences. It's just you heard something.
The door didn't close or anything, but
No, the door's still open. It's just you could have sworn you heard that same kind of noise.
I go ahead and radio in to the team that's in there with wait, does my communicator reach them? I test my communicator. You guys do have communicators, right?
Purvis does at least.
Purvis has comlink.
Cool.
Does Barnaby and or Regis have one?
I did not get to pick one up, so I'll have to probably buy one later.
All right, they're like 25 credits. They're pretty easy to get.
Yeah.
Does Barnaby have one?
It's essential gear.
What?
Does Barnaby have a comlink?
Yes.
Okay.
All
Yes,
right.
he has
And
been
Barnaby
made
would
to
be
have one.
and Barnaby's on my crew, so I would
You definitely
know to
have
be able
Barnaby.
to. So ring up Barnaby. Hey, everything all right down there?
That's very fine. Why do you ask?
Barnaby, the voice coming through the other end is like very crackly. The connection is still there and it looks fine. It's just the voice coming through is kind of like cracking.
Oh. Yes, why do you ask, good man?
Can Purvis hear this?
Excuse you.
Barnaby confused.
Did you say good man?
That is a neutral term. Do not put your stupid gender things into words.
Whatever. Anyways, I don't know, just getting the heebie-jeebies up here. I heard something sound like stone scraping and shifting, but not seeing any differences. So, just want to make sure you guys are safe and nothing's going on.
Okay, I check.
Okay.
How long must we stay in this location? Bad
For your
omens are
earlier
being picked
question
up.
there, Fervis, the call was specifically to Barnaby, but you'd probably be able to hear like the crackle.
Would I have any reason to suspect like jamming or such?
Well, jamming would have, like, proper jamming would have like just completely turned it off without
Fair.
like without there being like anything to do besides trying to like cut through the jamming. This makes it seem more like there's some sort of interference.
I
It's
mean,
not like
that's
a
what I was
specific
meaning.
like scramble thing. Yeah, it seems like there's a bit of interference.
I mean, the amount of stone and stuff that's between us could it probably explains it.
It could.
Also, congrats, Enja, on
Yeah.
being the first quote of this campaign.
Nice.
All right. Well, if there's no issue, got an ETA for me when you'll be back up?
So, must we do this unlocking of sacred information here? Or what? One of our others is picking up bad omens.
Of course he'd want
well-
to, or she'd want to run away from omens.
Yeah, it's Omen Runner.
Yeah.
Well, it isn't necessary, but well, I just kind of had a preference for getting it as fast as possible.
Of course, of course. However, stones are moving, and I do not believe that they do that themselves without external influence.
Stones are moving?
If what they have said is correct.
Perhaps it is for the best to get out of here. I feel confident in my ability to handle anything that actually would accost us in a place like this, but it might be best not to linger.
If that thing
We
is
move.
Yeah, if that thing is super important and you would have left this place with it, then chances are there's a reason no one else has. We should definitely be aware if there's potential countermeasures, just like that droid.
Barnaby's eyes narrow slightly. Leaf wrappings may not be sufficient. I may have to dip into my emergency leaves.
Well, Barnaby, just keep me posted. If anything happens, let me know, and I'll see if I can help.
You will be able to measure the danger level by the amount that I am screaming into the radio when I contact you.
Sounds good.
Now let's get
Moments
out of this
later,
place.
high-pitched, shrill scream. Amy turns around and walks away. Nope, not worth it. No.
I get the feeling we are going to have a very large amount of
leaves.
I think we're going to have a lot of Barnaby quotes in this.
Very potentially, yes. But yeah, no. Sen will go ahead and halt his meditations, at least for now, and start heading back towards the entrance.
I'm gonna follow him.
Furvis will lead the way.
Okay. And thankfully, nothing happens on the way out. You are able to reach the front entrance with no notable events.
All right. Everything went well down there?
Yes, very interesting. I feel like a learned individual. You may hand me a diploma. That is a thing of importance, yes?
I look to Sen. Everything go all right down there?
I'd say it went rather well.
Good. Well, then, let's go ahead and make our way back to the ship then. Hopefully I'll be able to find some trade goods to take to our next destination before we have to leave.
And Regis is just wiping the sweat off his brow after he gets out of there.
All right. Well, in that case, you are able to get back to your truck, newly acquired and owned.
Yep. Krill, Ron, status report. Anything happen while we were gone?
Quiet. Quiet as
Negative.
jungle can be.
Quiet. Nice. It's good to hear.
Yeah, occasionally, like, some local wildlife would come by, but you'd be able to, like, just kind of shoo them away pretty easily.
We have escaped the Omen. Now to get onto the professional Omen escaper, the ship.
Alright.
The Omen, Barnaby?
That is the word.
Dare I ask?
Nothing happened.
X.
All right, and as you guys are loading up, people may give me perception or investigation.
Ooh.
Perception. I'm assuming it was the same roll from as from earlier for me.
Fudge it. I'm gonna just accept the botch.
You're just taking the botch. Got it.
Yay! Extra boost die. The new dice hate me.
Well, Barnaby will be rolling perception, as he has nothing in investigation.
I don't think this will. Since people are doing perception, we'll do investigation for Ron.
It exists. It exists.
That's the roll set. Roll I'm doing. Okay. Alright. Ha!
Combo.
Natural
First
combo.
first
You
roll
know
combo
what?
of the thing.
I think it's time for me to use
You know
my
what?
first
Actually,
soul dice.
I will kill that crew combo and spend a soul because I haven't used it yet.
Then I will wait.
Okay, 2.
And I will not wait. I will also be spending my soul before I lock in. 3.
All right. Does that conclude everyone's rolling?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. In that case, Barnaby, you think that at some point you see a errant splash of red in the forest, which is very weird because you have not seen anything red besides the light of the knowledge prism.
What's that? No, surely not. That is terrible camouflage.
Everything all right, Barnaby?
Someone
enough
get
air
it.
in
As
your
I'm
hood there?
gaining.
Barnaby may be hastily scooping leaves as they go.
This would be while you're loading up onto the truck, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes. Just making preparations.
All right.
Just in case.
Everyone get settled. We're heading out.
Now, I assume he only saw it for a moment.
Yeah, he's on for a moment.
So everyone settles in, and I start driving.
Brown sits back in the navigator's seat to make sure they're going the right way.
Hopefully it's not getting too dark out.
Unless you're driving through the night, you guys will have to stop for the night. Because like I said, you were getting there when it was like 5 p.m.
Ah, true.
Yeah.
Probably best not to risk driving through darkness in this place.
I could
So you
probably
could
handle
drive
it,
for a
but
couple of hours before settling down. It's just,
I want to get a little bit away from this place.
I mean, yeah, the fair.
So drive for a couple hours before stopping. It's getting a little bit too dark. Let's set up camp. I want and let's organize shifts. I want eyes on the night while we're out here. Something's, I don't know. Something's.
A wise precaution.
So, here's a question. Who here has portable shelters?
Krill does.
Did I?
Furvis does not, but, well...
Purvis
he
wouldn't
is-
really care too
yeah,
much about that.
Yeah.
Eh.
So I was
I
going
did
to
not
ask,
pick up a portable shelter.
I was going to ask out of curiosity, can Furvis just sleep in the world between worlds?
You could. That would be a very unrecommended thing, but you could do that.
Alright, I suppose I'll stay.
I was just gonna chill in the truck.
You could also
Probably a
do
little,
that.
little uncomfortable, but
It will not be the best sleep, but it will be sleep.
also if it helps, then he'll be fine with as he has dim vision, so he'll have some vision. He's fine with taking the mid watch if one is suggested.
Yep, and you
Yes.
can light up your surroundings slightly by turning on the lights of the truck.
Oh, we've gained
Yeah.
Hex. When did that happen? We have Hex.
Oh, hey Hex. Hey, with my little repos.
We have acquired a doggo.
All right. I mean, if we really need to, we could light a fire, but I'd be all right with sitting in the truck with the lights on.
Barnaby does not have portable shelter. He just lays down where he lays down. But there is one slight difference. He digs. Oh.
Taldarius tipped $50. I will now be activating my trap.
Oh.
I asked for 50 today because I'd be donating $50 myself to celebrate.
Oh.
Aw.
Thank you, Tal. Thank you
Yep,
so
there you go.
much for the support. Though I won't lie, I had a moment of panic when that first started.
I did phrase it like that way on purpose. All right. But yeah, you guys are setting up watch around the night, which is a good idea.
All right.
Barnaby, his sleep is digging a sufficient hole that he is snug but not squeezed.
I take it he lines it with leaves.
Of course. There are many uses for leaves, so he always has a spare pack. A lot of Barnaby's moves are going to rely on foliage.
Of course.
Well, let's
Which
hope we
means-
don't go to a desert planet.
Fuck.
Barnaby would be inconsolable.
Well, I hope you like cactus.
A nice planet.
Cactus protection, but the needles are inward.
No. The needles face inward so they can stick better.
So,
Take 5
who's taking
damage,
first
gain
watch?
3 temporary health.
Krill can
It
take
is just
first watch.
objectively a bad trade.
Krill's taking first watch. All right, who's got second watch?
Ron will take second watch.
All right, and third watch.
Is that
I
gonna
can
be
take
more
third watch
chaos?
if we need to.
Barnaby will take a watch.
Why does that
What was
just
that?
fill me with terror?
Don't worry, Barnaby can watch all of you while everyone else sleeps.
I'm sure they'll get to
Hey.
projects while they're waiting.
In your dreams, you played Night on Tatooine to survive Tatooine.
Oh no.
I mean, Barnaby's part of my crew. I trust him. He may be a
Don't
little,
worry,
a little
I have
eccentric.
been sufficiently reprimanded. I have learned many lessons since I began flying with you. I know what not to do.
I
Oh
would
my
hope
god,
so.
Kuroy! Oh no!
He would.
Oh no! Oh dear! Immediate dark side attunement. No.
I think that might be a little too cruel even for the dark side.
Who knows what space plants they can find?
All right. So we got our watches done.
Sounds like.
All right.
Furvis is curling
Cal,
up
do you-
around Darf to sleep.
Cool.
Jesus.
Tal, do you want anyone to make rolls during the night, or does it pass by uneventfully?
It'll pass by uneventfully, but if you want to, I will say that no events will be happening. If you want to roll perception checks, that is very much so allowed, and you may get extra information from the rolls.
Okay.
It's just not required.
Well, Krill
Okay.
will make her perception roll real quick then.
For me, it'd be the same roll as before. Nope.
Now, just remember, when I say emergency leaves, I never defined them.
They're the hallucinogenic
Oh.
ones.
Well, Ron's seen something. Saw something at least.
Well, it has the potential of having seen something.
Something.
2 might not be enough successes.
Yeah.
You, as you haven't completed your rest yet, if you want to use things like vigor, you can. Because you'll be getting
Yeah,
them
why
back
not?
anyway.
I'll bigger and make it an explosion. Does that make that 2 successes or just explode?
It makes it 2 successes and explode.
Okay. So we'll just roll 1 using the system this time. Yeah, okay, so that is 3.
All right.
I'll
Well-
take my botch.
You'll take your botch. Cool. For that, maybe the day's events were slightly more eventful and taxing than you realized. Maybe because you literally spent the entire day driving a new vehicle,
Yeah.
which isn't really that hard, but it is taxing. You kind of
But,
end up snoozing slightly on your watch, and probably don't want to tell anyone that.
Yeah. But, I mean, I spent the entire day not just driving a ship, but then driving a land vehicle. Also having met with and made underworld deals. You know, it's been an eventful day.
It's been an eventful day. You could totally get away with taking a small nap.
Absolutely tells no one that I accidentally snoozed a little bit on my watch.
Yep. Ron, you would see the same slight smear of red at one point that Barnaby got to see earlier.
So like the flash of something.
Yeah, like you saw red for like a split second, which is weird because you haven't seen anything red around here. Like even the animals you've seen, you haven't seen any that are red coloration.
I will look out for them for a moment, but if it's already gone, like, seeing things. Anyway.
All right, like I said, good.
Yeah, good. Yes, let's go back.
I was going to say, like I said, it's a flash of red, and that's about it.
Okay.
All right.
And the night passes uneventfully.
Okay. Go and pack up and head out at first light.
Yep.
All right. Let me go ahead and roll something here. Oh, I've noted that down.
Okay.
Dun, dun,
Continue.
dun.
I'm regretting traveling so late already. That was quite some sleep on that truck bed.
All right. Okay. Does anyone have any commentary on during the road trip?
Ron's more focused on making sure they don't hit anything.
Yeah, that's my focus.
Will either Ron or Barnaby bring up the red smear?
Barnaby will. Very good. We are alive today. Did anyone see anything red yesterday?
Red?
Yes.
Maybe I did.
I believe I
Just
saw
the
it for a
same
moment, but
thing
then I
that
thought
I
I was hallucinating blood.
Are you talking about the thing inside the temple?
No, other thing. Outside, actually.
I just sworn I saw something last night as well.
Ah. So it is not a vision. Or at least we have taken the same substance, as Barnaby will hold their hand. We are kin. We are kin.
Oh my god.
Rod really quickly just like... Anyway, let me... Back to the road.
Interesting that you guys are apparently taking drugs.
That's the thing, they weren't.
I am celebrating it because it was done without my knowledge. A praiseworthy feat.
They weren't. That's the problem.
No, I have not. Yes.
You have to be quite subtle to slip something into me. You have to be.
Barnaby, I don't think anything was slipped to you.
Then there is indeed red something somewhere that might still be around, but is being very careful, which is also concerning.
All right. Well then, eyes sharp. Keep a lookout if you guys can, and let's keep moving.
Yeah.
The sooner we can be back to civilization, the better.
Agreed.
And getting some off vibes from this.
So we didn't hear any stone when we were in the temple?
No.
And we didn't see anything close or block us off. You were the one that heard the stone outside, Amy.
Mm-hmm. And yet, nothing's happened as of yet. And if I can help it, nothing's gonna happen.
I think we should make our way back to the ship and leave when we should.
That's what we're doing. All right.
Weren't there multiple temples we were supposed to go to?
There are.
Different
You could always
planet.
try and go to a different landing bay, though.
Ah, fair.
Oh,
Oh, are there multiple temples
there
on
is
this
a
planet?
series of temples that you're going to be going to on this planet.
okay. So
Oh,
we
okay.
should determine which
In
way
which
we're
case,
going.
where's the next one? How far away is the next one we need to hit and we need to get to?
The next one, for the information you've been provided, is basically almost the same distance, a little bit longer, but in the other direction. Basically, this city was chosen to land in because it had the
It was
highest
central.
quantity of nearby temples to it.
Right.
You will likely have to take your ship to go to other parts of the planet to get to some of the more remote temples.
All right. So we're basically gonna have to pass through the city anyways to get to the next one. Is that correct?
Yeah.
All right.
So you're heading in the right direction anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
When they approach
It's just
the
that also
city,
depending... Oh, go ahead.
when they approach the city, Furvis is going to disappear from the bed of the truck. He's going to be teleporting rooftop to rooftop over to the other side of the city,
All right.
which will probably be faster
I will remind
than...
you what... Yeah, I will remind you of what Sen did end up saying, which was he would be opening this and then going to the next temple.
Yeah, I was just about to ask Sen if he managed to open his lockbox throughout the night.
Yeah. So he will inform you that no, I haven't really managed to open it yet. It appears that it's rather hard to open, which I did expect. I just didn't expect it to take this long. At the rate that I'm going, I should be able to open it within the next day or so.
So,
Do we
small question.
do we stop at the ship for you to do that, or do we continue on to the next temple?
Well, I'd prefer stopping by the ship in case what I find out from the contents of it is sufficient enough that I could end my expedition early.
Oh,
Okay.
Then I
We'll
suggest
stop by the ship then.
yes, and
As
we
long
can
as-
look for cargo to trade.
I will find the local addicts.
My God. Okay, another Barnaby quote.
What? I am useful to the crew. I can make
Must
credits
you
while they're parked.
always go straight to the illicit drugs, though?
No, no, no.
I mean,
It is
it's
not
good
illicit
money.
because if they are taking it here, then it is native.
I mean, money is money.
They aren't illicit because no one else has invented it yet.
Barnaby
I will
just
not.
making
will
up
not
new
int-
drugs wherever he goes.
Well, I live up to my heritage.
I'm just saying, there are more markets out there.
But this is faster. We have an indeterminate amount of time. I can't just go begin treating people. That might take actual lengths of time.
You do you, Bartleby.
This is
I mean, if
certainly
I
a
knew we were
very-
going to, if I knew we were going to be sitting here for 2 days, then I could try and open an improv clinic.
This is certainly a very interesting crew.
Interesting for sure, but they're useful. They do their jobs well enough.
Just think of all the experiences you're getting.
Experience is not my thing. Experience isn't worth anything. It's what it's the connections and credits.
Well, remember that I will be assisting you in not taking your injury in the first place, so you don't need my actual services.
Trying to be as long as you're not getting us dragged back to us to do what you need.
Have a leaf. As he will just place one somewhere on their body.
Ron will take it and tuck it in his belt, maybe. Yeah, well, don't take it. Just tuck in his belt.
So, do we get back to the town or city unaccosted?
You do.
All right.
Furvis is, instead of teleporting across to the other side of the town, he'll teleport across rooftops to the ship. You know, trying to stay out of sight.
I'm not sure what's more suspicious: a teleporting wolf that's 9 feet tall, or a wolf that's 9 feet tall.
Let's just hope
Yes.
Depends on what people see and where they see it.
Just hope there's none of those big pine cone robots in the sky over the town.
Probe droids.
All right.
Oh,
All right. So you are going back to your ship. At least, most of you. Furvis, are you going back to the ship itself, or are you just going to go to the other side of town to wait?
No, like I said, he's going to the ship.
Yeah, okay.
Inside, you know.
Now this one, once it is my turn, is one of my favorites because this one's a bit of a long one. The Echoes of Hollow Hunger. The Echoes.
All right. Well, Sen will be attempting to open his newly obtained holocron. And all of you are free to do as you wish in town. As a reminder, this is a trading city on a trading planet. And there is... basically, if there is something that you want to do or see or experience, you can probably get most of it here.
Yep. You're missing some supplies. You can probably buy it here.
Yep.
If you just want a good night on the town, you can definitely get that here too.
Yep. There are plenty of bars to go booze it up at. It's an outer rim trade planet.
Well, the first thing Krill's gonna do is I realized I do not have a comm link at all. So Krill is gonna go find a comm link to buy, and then is going to go find a bar.
All right. Well, for a comm link, those are so unbelievably accessible. You can buy them from multiple locations, and they're like 25 credits a piece.
Okay.
You could literally get it out of a vending machine.
Well, on her way to find a bar, she will pass by a stall and be like, "I need a comm link."
Yeah, sure. Any specifics, attachments? What are you looking for?
No.
Something.
Just a standard comm link.
All right. Well,
Basic
that'll be
handheld.
25 credits.
She will reach into her pack and take out a 25 credit chit.
All right. By the way, does Krill carry around like the hard currency version or just like the little like credit stick chips?
The sticks.
Okay. In that case, they'll take it, check the amount, and then hand over a comm link to you.
Thank you.
I think for Ron, if there's I figure there's probably he's gonna stay around the port and see if anyone needs some minor help he might get paid for, because he is kind of low. Because I kind of ran him out of money at the point, so it might be the best thing to do right now.
Okay, look, this is the first session. If you realize, oh hey, I don't have money and all of that, you can take out additional debt for that if you want.
Nah, more of he's doing the odd jobs, so he has some small stuff to spend for later.
All right, so basically, you're trying to pick up like some odd jobs at the port. You're go pull that. Okay.
I mean, Tal said we could take as much debt as we wanted.
Yeah.
So I literally just
debt as you want.
So I literally just kept the starting 1,000 credits and put all the rest as debt.
I'd play with the debt at all at the moment. Probably should knowing a little bit of the backstory, but
like I said, it's the first session. If after this you want to change up your stuff a little bit, this is literally like the best kind of time to do that. But if you want to make a couple of credits, I'm gonna need 2 checks from you.
Okay.
First is a persuasion to persuade them to pick you up for the odd jobs, and the second is going to be like, you know, the craft repair check to fix stuff.
The first one's gonna be the hard one, probably. We'll do mind cunning persuasion, which persuasion is 0.
Ron's just on the corner of a street, goes up to a car stopped there. Hey, baby.
I mean,
you need your car serviced?
I mean, you guys are literally in a port right now.
The person that runs up to your car at the stoplight with a squeegee and a thing is just like, watch your windshield?
No, they start washing it before you say yes, so then you feel obligated to pay.
Yeah.
Alright. So 2 successes on the persuasion.
All right. In that case, you will get picked up, but unless like, you know, you're marketing yourself like as a temp worker. They don't really know too much of what your actual skills are, so you're mostly just going to get like, you know, some of the more like basic repair jobs.
Fair.
They'll be willing to hire you on for like, you know, they'll give you like 50 credits a day you work at first until they know more about.
I'm just working for the days to kill time, so why not? Would my spaceship repair spec help in this?
Yeah, because you will be repairing spaceships.
Okay. So that's.
Do you have the repair feat, by the way?
Yeah. Did I not pick it up yet? I don't think I picked. I think I was going to, and then I didn't change it around, so I'll have to pick it up later.
Okay.
The durable repair feat. I remember you talked about it. Oops. Oh well.
All right. Well, in that case, go ahead and make a craft repair check.
Just trying to type it out. Oh, okay. So it's I'm not going to typing it out. We'll use. I guess we'll use instinct. I feel like innovative was like I could do this this way. Maybe not yet. Okay, so that's okay. And we're gonna use my other embody that just to see if I get better, so I have some better luck. That's better. That's 3.
All right, that's 3, and you'll get the full value of it because you do have a valid specialty.
All right, cool.
So in that case, there are a couple of starships that come in that, like, are in need of some minor repairs. They, talk to the shipwrights, and some of the more minor ones where it's like panel repair, are being sent your way to work on.
I forgot the extra. I have a spanner, so I should have done an additional 2 dice there, shouldn't I?
If you have a valid item, go ahead and roll.
I believe I have the hydro spanner. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead and add in that stuff then.
Ooh. I have 2 columns. Yeah. So another 2 to go to 5. Okay.
Dang.
Okay.
All right. So for this, that would turn it into a 5.
Yep.
Yeah, 5. So with that, like I said, you're mostly getting sent stuff like panel repair, where like there's some sort of like exterior damage to the starship, and you're pretty convincingly able to repair those sorts of things. Obviously, it's a bit of a time-consuming process, but it is it's kind of hard to mess up, and you're getting through it at least fairly quickly. Quickly enough that the shipwrights are actually a little bit more convinced now that you know what you're doing, even if you aren't the most personable.
Okay.
So, if you work more days in the future, they might be willing to pay you a bit more.
Gotcha.
For your work, go ahead and take 50 credits.
Sweet. Time after he'll head for a bar because to chill unless gets report to head back to the ship.
As long as you remain in comms contact and alert me if anything goes wrong, well, then no need to necessarily come back to the ship.
Yep. And comlinks have a connection range of like 50 kilometers, so.
Yeah, makes sense.
We get given
It'll
like the
be
frequency
okay.
code.
What'd you say?
I said, did we get like a frequency code to know what to connect to the ship?
Oh yeah, no, there's comlink codes.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
All right. So
we would have shared codes.
Yeah. Basically, you would have each other's phone number.
Okay.
So long as you're willing to share it. I don't if you're not willing to share it, then whatever. But also, comlinks are 25 credits. You could literally throw yours out and just get a new one if you cared.
Yeah, Regis may have done that. So he's going to be buying a comlink. And you mentioned before that there was a thing that was like a portable shelter?
Yeah, just so that way you have access to it, because it should be in the channel, but here, I'm going to send it to you directly. Here's the item list. If you look at the bottom, there's the gear tab. So there is under survival items, there would be, for example, the portable shelter for 200 credits, which would provide enough shelter for 1 large or 2 medium sentients. And if you just want to use it for yourself, then congratulations, you have legroom.
It's very fair. Regis did the thing where he didn't realize there was a second tab. Okay.
I need to start I don't know, maybe putting links to other tabs in at the top of tabs. This is a common
Just 'cause-
problem.
It
Oh
is a
my
common
God.
problem. People not
Tab.
realizing there's more tabs down below.
Tabception.
I'm sorry, I just like to try and organize by tabs so it's not in one massive run-on thing.
Or
Oh no, they
you
are.
could-
It is the
That
best
is
way to
very
do it.
useful.
Mhm.
Best
Yeah.
way to do
Learning
it.
the language, yeah.
It's
Now
very
I know.
reasonable. Just not everyone knows how to use the Google spreadsheets and doesn't realize. Oh, there's tabs down there.
Yeah.
Excel spreadsheet
But yeah.
doesn't matter.
So go ahead and look through that gear tab. Like I said, you start with 1,000 credits to begin with. If you want more, take on debt. We can talk about that later.
Mhm.
I'm just letting you know for picking out things. Cool. So Krill, you're barring it up. Ron, you're working and then barring it up. Let's go over. I'm just gonna start going a little bit alphabetical. Regis is probably out shopping. Amy, what's our pilot doing?
All right, so I'm checking to see if there are any goods that are going to need to be moved or that are looking to be moved out in like the next week or so. Because I figure we'll be leaving port within the week, hopefully, and is the plan going to be that we're going to be heading to other planets in the system right now, or is it all just going to be the same planet?
It's going to be so you're in the Sharlissian system.
Yeah.
Which the only colonized place here is Sharlissia.
Okay, so the only planet is Sharlissian.
Yeah. So you could also look
Okay.
for interplanet trade stuff as well as the greater galaxy. So you could also
Right,
take on like some
okay.
trade things that are just related to the planet because goods still need to be moved from one end of the planet to the other.
Fair enough. I'll be looking for possible goods that need to be moved interplanetary right now, and sometime within the next week, because I figure we're probably gonna be picking up and moving port within the next week.
Yeah, in that case, that would be, I believe, a appraisal would be a good one for that in order to appraise the value of things, the
All right.
contracts and various things that you're looking at and goods.
Of course. Also, do we need to refuel the ship at all? Do we need to spend any credits on refueling?
I'll say for now with this kind of stuff, no.
All right.
Mostly because otherwise that's going to be a little bit too much stuff right now. So that might get introduced later, but for now, no.
Too much micromanagement for the moment.
Too much
Okay.
micromanagement stuff, and like I said, the vehicle stuff is pretty experimental right now anyway, and so that might be likely to change. So I don't want to settle on, okay, this is how much refueling costs when I might go and change things.
Fair enough. All right. So this would be mind appraisal. Any particular expertise you'd want for this?
No, I can see a
can
lot
see-
of them working pretty well. It just depends on what kind of flavoring of information you want.
I'm thinking cunning.
Cunning would work.
All right. That'd be 4 dice. All right. I'm rolling 4 dice on a lot of things, and that is good. All right, 3 successes.
All right. With 3 successes, you see a couple of potential contracts that are looking pretty good. You don't really have a good idea of what kind of goods would be in demand of various locations around the world. You don't really have a lot of local inside information about the internal market of the planet.
Right, of course.
But what you can see is you have a pretty sturdy little ship.
Yes.
And so what you can do is you could take there's a couple contracts available that would be for goods and items that really are harder to move over land as compared to through
Over
the air. And
Right.
in addition, you see that a couple of these contracts are offering expedited delivery pay,
Okay.
which is a lot easier considering your ship. So the Barlaw's class, you'll see like on the listing that it has a speed rating of like I
8.
forget if I put it at 8. Yeah, 8.
You put it at 8.
Times that by 100 and you have the kilometers per hour it can fly.
800. Okay.
It's
cool.
technically a little bit higher in lore, but I didn't want to put 8.5.
Right.
But
Okay.
that ship can fly like across a planet in a couple of hours.
Right. Okay. You mentioned expedited shipping. Are those things that are wanting to head out like today?
No, these are like we're setting this up, and once we have this ready, because it hasn't been like produced yet, it needs to be delivered like really fast once it is.
All right. Take note of those contracts. Take note of any particular time frame from now in which it's expected for the delivery to happen, or is it just a on-call sort of thing?
So this is the sort of thing where like imagine one part of a production chain gets delayed and they really need the parts to get to the next area before a certain time. So it's going to be cutting it pretty close, but the goods will basically be ready basically the whole like week from now thing. Where they're
Okay.
lining up things right now because they want to make sure that they have offers and contacts for we can deliver this when it's ready.
I'll go ahead and submit my my ship as a potential ship for moving cargo with some of these contracts, and yeah, go ahead and aside from that, talk to people, see if I can make any good contacts around.
All right. You looking for any certain classification of contact?
No, just people people with whom money can be made.
All right. In that case, because you're going to be interacting with various people for this, like a laundry list of people.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make me either presence or etiquette.
All right. That would be. I'm going to go with presence.
All right.
That was. Want me to do Charmin for my expertise on this?
If that's the sort of impression you want to make, go ahead.
All right. Mine, Charmin, presence. That puts me at a 5 dice. A success. Wasn't expecting too much, but you never know.
All right. With that one success, you feel like you make an impression on a couple of different people. It seems like not too many people were that interested that you talked to, but it's your first day in a port, and well, second day in a port, but it's your first day actually like going and talking with the people, and that it takes a bit to build that sort of thing up. But you do have a couple of comlink numbers that like you can check in on occasionally, probably in order to see if they're helpful little things, but you don't really have anything appreciable yet.
Right. Of course.
But progress was made.
Yeah, in which case, the evening I'd be sleeping in the ship.
All right.
In my bunk. Yeah.
All right, going down next. Barnaby, what's the little war crime Ewok up to?
Now that's completely an accurate thing to call him. However, I may still feel free to resent the implication.
No, that's just uncalled for. Accurate, but uncalled for.
Pretty much. So, Barnaby is going to try to find the most desperate people in the city by first reading the newspaper and seeing who dares put out a personal ad in this day and age.
All right, what kind of a personal ad are you looking for?
Just checking
People.
Craigslist.
Let's just see if there are people that are blatantly claiming that they're dying.
Like the kind of people where it's literally just like anyone with experience with this, please help.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Go ahead and make an
Please help.
investigation.
And the narcotic dealing teddy bear shows up.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought you were looking for addicts.
Well, that is that may lead me to addicts, because it may also be concerned parents asking about their children that want to keep this off official records. Wherever there is civilization, there are stupid teens.
I mean, true enough.
All right. Well, go ahead and roll an investigation.
Okay. Now, if this fails, then Barnaby will do one of his more usual rituals. But I believe I have at least an acceptable basis. Now, do I use my last soul for this? So that Barnaby can be civilized, air quotes. No. No, I will not.
All right. Barnaby,
There is nothing in the personal hands.
In that case, Barnaby, you're very disappointed to find that the personal ad section is filled out with people hawking their businesses and, like, legal services. There's not anyone begging for help from anyone who will listen in here.
Damn. They didn't put it in the newspaper. Maybe they're just stupid today. Anyway. Time to go make myself ill. As now, he is going to start digging through garbage cans looking for anything spoiled.
It will not be hard to find that, but I must ask why.
Because for this ritual, he needs to put himself in pain or great discomfort to increase the chances. Allow me to outline the steps of his ritual.
Oh no. Somebody make note of that. Allow me to outline the steps of this ritual. Just put that in the chat for me, because I'm away for a moment.
Listen.
I am now curious. My interest is piqued.
Okay, there's 4 steps to it. First is the sacrifice of emptiness, where they must, through some method, create great discomfort or nausea, perhaps even slight poisoning.
What have we unleashed on this poor spaceport?
Then, a ring of ash, powdered charcoal, or chalk is drawn onto the ground with a single empty vessel, a clay bowl placed at the center. The vessel represents the person, empty, aching, and calling out. And then begins the chanting, and if successful, the vessel may begin to rattle, signaling that it has found someone, and Barnaby will know their location and seek them out.
Okay,
You're
where
doing
did you
voodoo.
get all these rituals?
He's literally coming
There's-
up with them.
Okay.
There's so much supplementary lore and fanfics that seem correct that I have been browsing so that I can play this shit.
In
This
other
is
words,
hilarious.
he literally
I love
made it the
it.
fuck up and dumpster dove sources in order to find the most batshit stuff to do.
Listen, I want to play a Force character that does not just wave their hand and stuff happens. No, I want to fill this with flavor so that someday Barnaby, even at mid to low level, will be able to pull some just insane bullshit, but you'll need to cover for him for a few rounds.
So essentially, you've created an
I love
Ewok
this.
Night Sister.
I'm
I love
unfamiliar with
this.
that term.
So there is something that Barnaby will likely be very interested in, and it's literally called Sith alchemy.
I'm interested. That sounds exactly up his alley.
Legitimately, this is
Part of
great.
it
I love
literally
it.
involves experimenting on biological things in order to give or change or somehow alter their traits, and come up with entirely new, insane things to do.
Ooh.
Yeah, that sounds about right for Barbie.
Yeah,
Yes,
for right
but-
now, Barnaby's literally just doing voodoo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Force voodoo.
He is a shaman.
Yeah?
Barnaby needs to do anything to increase his powers, especially this early in the game. So, yes, to find someone who is poisoned or experiencing deep, practically soul-collapsing withdrawal, he needs to make sure that he is experiencing at least something remotely similar. Even if just in category. Ergo, he needs to poison himself to find people who are poisoned.
Yep.
Empathetic magic.
Yep. So just to give you guys an example of what Sith alchemy can result in, I am putting something in the chat for Piercing the Veil. Right there. That is called a Tarentatech. Quote, Tarentatechs were creatures which fed off of the blood of Force sensitives and inhabited caves and tombs strong with the dark side of the Force. Tarentatechs resembled Rancors, although smaller, except they had a number of spines growing from their backs and a pair of tusk-like projections from their mouths. They also had massive claws. The claws and tusks of a Tarentatech were highly venomous. It was theorized they were once Rancors subjected to mutations by the Sith and experiments of Sith alchemy.
Now, to preface, Barnaby is not strictly aligned with the dark side of the Force. It is just more powerful. It is.
The best part is that it literally isn't, but it's kind of funny.
Well, hold. The dark side of the Force is less explored.
It's less explored and it's less picky.
It is less picky. Listen.
My goodness, I'm just now picturing Barnaby creating a Tarentatech.
He might.
Like, what did you do?
I learned.
Gonna have to keep a close
Just
eye
as long
on
as you
him.
can clean up your own messes.
Don't worry, I've already injected it with 50 tons of neurotoxin. I didn't even know how I put all that in there, but I sure did.
Barnaby unlocks quantum tunneling just to fit more neurotoxin in his creations.
By the way, it's going to explode, so we're gonna have to drop this off somewhere.
Tarentatechs or Rakghouls.
Oh no, not Rakghouls.
Yeah, and Garou, you said something
Also,
earlier.
we are in
like-
30 trillion credits of debt. Neurotoxin is not cheap.
I don't know if Garou's quiet for anyone else, but
Yes, Garou is quiet. Turn him up to 200%.
all right.
My apologies.
Barnaby is a holistic believer in there is no light side and dark side of the Force. The Force is like nature. The Force is just the Force. To deny
Anyways.
one aspect of it is to deny the Force.
Anyways, Barnaby was looking for sick people
Yes.
via
Yes.
voodoo.
Of which, unfortunately, Barnaby, you are going to have to actually roll for this.
Of course I will.
Um,
So what skill am I rolling?
may I ask? I've got a quick question. Where is he performing this ritual?
What an excellent question.
Some back alley somewhere.
Either
Just-
that or on the ship.
Yeah, on the ship, or I can just imagine him going to the middle of Main Street, just setting all this up.
No. There are vehicles there. The sidewalk is quite serviceable.
So you're just gonna do this on a public sidewalk?
I don't think he'd care enough to go all the way back to the ship. This is valuable time he is wasting.
He just does it right next to whatever dumpster he found the spoiled food in.
That sounds correct.
He just
Yeah.
dumpster dives, finds spoil food, starts ritual immediately. Okay.
And eats it. Don't forget that.
He'd
Well,
be-
yeah, I know.
he'd be slight-
I'm
at
just saying
least
starts
slightly
the ritual,
poisoned.
because that's part of the ritual, apparently.
Yes. So
All
next
right.
to a dumpster.
So, first of all, for expertise, I'm going to require that this be with innovative.
Thankfully, I have that.
Yeah. So, besides that, you're trying to track down someone who is ill or sick using a ritual.
I
In
am.
which case, I will be asking for a survival check.
Thankfully, I have a lot of that. And by a lot, I mean just 2 dots. But it counts.
And will this be a soul check for attribute?
Thankfully, I also
I was
have
about to say, yeah, it's going to be soul.
The power of bark. The power of bark is strong in this role.
Brew. So, Barnaby, you sticking with that?
Yes, I must save my resources for when I am actually performing something important.
All right. In that case, next up, I'm going to need you to make a vigor integrity check.
Can do.
All right. So, thankfully, you're also able to keep down the spoiled food you consumed as a part of this.
Yes, excellent. My Ewok constitution.
All right. So I'm gonna make a different check. Do you have anything in subterfuge? How much do you have in subterfuge?
Let me check. Nothing.
Nothing. Okay.
He is not a man who will hide himself. He's
Cool. It didn't really matter anyway because they rolled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on on how public this is.
Oh.
So you are literally being recorded and filmed doing this. You're doing this in public.
Yeah. Perhaps someday Barnaby will learn the consequences of his actions.
That may be sooner than later, considering if you're going to be doing this kind of shit in public.
Instead of doing this in camera, you did it on camera.
Listen, Barnaby doesn't understand that force is... Barnaby doesn't understand a lot of things.
All right.
All right, guys, it's your homie G here. I'm like right here. There's this teddy bear here. He is eating dumpster food.
I mean, all things considered, what did they even see him doing? They saw him eating garbage, do some stuff on the ground, sit down for a moment, say something, pick up the bowl, and not throw up as he leaves. He could just be crazy.
He could, but this is still notable, and they're going to film it.
Yeah.
So you're going to be heading off in a direction. In order to regain a slight amount of sanity with this, Furbus, what are you doing?
Furvis, well, I was going to, if he came back to the ship, was going to have some things to say about that. But, he's probably going to just be hanging around the ship and probably offer, he's going to go up and offer to help Sen.
All right. He will accept your help. And the check to make with this is academics, or obviously teamwork.
Alrighty. Probably mind. Oh no, Hex is going to do fan art. Hex, that would be Barnaby, the teddy bear Ewok.
I know I had try-by sketch stream in the background, so expect some Ron after, or later on.
My dice hate me.
I think a lot of Ren has rubbed off on you, Zen.
Yes, I canceled the other game, so that's probably what it is.
Huh?
Ren was upset about it, so,
Oh, okay.
Alright, 2.
He's talking about the other game of the day.
Yeah,
The game
yeah,
that we have.
I was gathering that with time currently.
All right. So you're going to be right next to Sen, helping him for a while. Amy, you went to your bunk in order to sleep, but you're still around. But you make this at +1 difficulty. Both of you give me perceptions.
At +1 difficulty, so I'm looking for 8s and up.
Yep, look for 8s. Because you're busy trying to sleep.
Yeah, so perception, mind, instinct.
Works for me.
Cool. Perceptions.
I identified the cause of all of this, and thus RNGesus has blessed me.
Nope. 0, net 0. I have nothing to be concerned about.
Nope, you're busy sleeping. Or at least trying to. All right. Furvis, while you and Sen are busy, working on this holocron thing, which, again, is pretty interesting for you because you've never gotten to interact with one of these before, and they are quite the interesting little artifact. And by little, it is like an appreciable size, but compared to you. Compared to you, it is very much so little.
Everything is very little compared to me.
Yep. But due to your location, you do manage to notice something very interesting going on. Which is you manage to, out of the corner of one of your eyes, notice a small red-colored thing enter the ship.
He's going to growl and immediately turn towards it.
All right. Go ahead and roll an appraisal.
I probably can't do body on that, so...
You could if you want.
Oh, okay.
It just depends what flavor of information you'll get.
No, I'm gonna go with mind. Gonna go with instinct on expertise on that. So 1.
All right. Mind instinct. In that case, what you're going to recognize is that this thing has the same sort of feeling that the temple did.
Sen.
Its actual traits and qualities are going to be unknown to you, though.
Okay. Sen, do you know what that is? Is it just... I assume it's just there, and he's looking at it.
Yeah, now that his attention has been brought to it, because he's been focusing greatly on this, so now that his attention has been brought to it...
Oh, that's a lot of dice.
Yeah, well, Sen has an actual dice pool, so...
Yeah, he's not a beginning adventurer. He's a lot cooler than any of the rest of us.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, he decided to roll 9 successes on identifying it, so, like, Lamau. He decided to roll really good. And he is going to frown very, like, immediately. Because... And he's going to like try and nudge Furvis aside a bit.
Furvis will move, but not, keep his eyes on the thing.
Yeah. And Sen will go, I've never really gotten to see one in person before. But I think I know what to do. This could be slightly dangerous, but these sorts of things are... I think it's best to say that this sort of thing is highly illegal, actually. It just so happens that, well, I don't think they used to care that much. And it wasn't really illegal for the faction who used them. So, it will likely have a reaction to this. And if it turns hostile due to it, go ahead and just stay out of the way because I'll deal with this one. This is within my expertise.
Furvis is unhappy about this, but he will not. But be ready to watch very closely what happens, both with the force sense as well as just, his eyes.
Alright.
He wants to learn from whatever happens.
And what you'll see is that, Sen will go ahead and pick up, like, just a small little item next to him. For this instance, I'll say it's just like, a cup. And he'll go ahead and toss it up and down, like, once or twice. And utilizing a little bit of force power, and because you're paying attention to this, it's kind of noticeable. It's very discreet.
Oh my god, Hex.
But
I'm sorry.
Fan art.
Fan art.
Yep.
And Barnaby's the first one to get fan art.
Fitting.
Nice.
Anyways, go ahead.
All right. And utilizing a bit of force to aid in it, he is going to do a small flick and just kind of like flick the cup at the thing, as it will impact it, and you can't hear it with your ears, but this is more through the force, as it lets out a screech, and you're able to hear it effectively just mentally going, "The Sith will rise, the Sith will rise, all of you will die before us," and it then proceeds to get squished.
So, what was that?
That would be an example of something that I'll refer to as an alchemy beast. They aren't that common, but you'll most commonly find them in old temples like that. More common the older the temple gets. That was a rather minor one, which I'm not too sure what its exact purpose was, but it was likely meant to follow and attempt to attack anyone that successfully managed to open the holocron. It is very common that in temples like that there be some sort of trial or test associated with retrieving one of those. And it seems like this trial might have been keeping awareness of surroundings. They were very paranoid folk. It depends on the temple's constructor exactly what the trial was, and for some of these, the trials might be far more immediate and dangerous.
I think I heard him get IRL aggro.
Yeah, I did for a second. Luckily, it was just for a second.
Okay. So, do we need to worry about that?
That... I will say not about that one, obviously, as he looks over to the now smear, which basically, like, you know, one of the like boxes that are in the thing just kind of got like quickly picked up and like smashed it. That one, obviously, no, but I don't know how many were in that temple.
That's kind of what I'm meaning. Furvis is gonna go ahead and use force to just close the ship up, just to be safe.
Understandable.
Literally, it'd just be a button press.
Well, yes, but why walk over to push a button if you can just push the button with your mind?
Okay. Are we gonna have just a lazy giant wolf on our hands?
He's not lazy.
I think he probably prefers the term efficient.
Exactly. You know, in the wild, you gotta preserve energy.
Sure.
You never know when your next meal might come by. Why waste energy for something as simple?
It's more energy efficient to push a button with your mind than it is to just walk over and tap a button.
Now,
Yes.
now, Toshi, how dare you put any amount of reasonable caution into this?
I don't think that it's going to be Furvis that gets us found.
To be fair, that's more because the bar is so low that it's an underground pipeline.
Fair.
And with that little fun event, we are approaching time.
I mean, the
So,
next game is canceled, so we could go a little later.
The next game is canceled, but I'll be honest. You guys could like roleplay and mess around, but I'm mostly gonna be just kind of in the background now, because that's the last of my my planned events things. And unless you guys are gonna go out to the next temple immediately, which I doubt, Senna's just gonna be working on the holocron for a while. So this would just be more open roleplay time.
Well, Furvis is probably going to see if Arf can be attuned to scan for those things.
Does Arf have a life form scanner?
Well, I have no idea what he's got inside of him because I had no idea what was even available.
Okay. With that in mind, then, the answer is probably not, unless you pick up a life form scanner for him to use and calibrate it to one of those things.
Okay. Wait. Would the thing inside the broken bot that we got from the temple, was that a life form scanner?
It did have some amount of scanning with it. It isn't a full-on life form scanner of like AoE things, but it'd be able to recognize one of them if it saw it. If you managed to let's say update it a bit and then put it into ARF.
Well, I mean, I'm wanting to be able to scan in an area around, not just be like, yes, that thing I am looking at is this.
Updated from MS-DOS to Windows 98.
Yep. Like I said, this is tech that is like, it was like a pretty limited in scope thing. So you could use it for it so long as it remains in scope, but unless you're just going to be like ripping it apart and taking spare parts and then trying to code it from scratch, not really.
Okay. I guess between now and next time, I would appreciate a list of what I can put into droids. So I can kind of get a baseline of what he's got figured out with you and also know what I have available for upgrades in the future.
Yeah, most of the stuff you can put into droids is mostly listed, like in the scanner section of the item sheet, like the scanners and some of the tools.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that would be the same thing as what he would have.
Yeah, it just gets integrated into them. It's the same technology. Although I don't know if I actually included Lifeform Scanner.
Yeah, you did. I
did? Okay.
Yeah. I think I sent some messages. I was silently doing my shopping list.
Well, then I guess we can go ahead and end unless somebody wants to do something.
Well, I can't wait until next time if we are out of time, but Barnaby is definitely still seeking people.
Oh yes, did Barnaby successfully find someone?
Well, he did his ritual and he felt like he should go off in a direction.
It's halfway, yes.
It did something.
It
Alright.
had an effect. And Krill will just be getting drunk and listening to any rumors going around the spaceport.
Understandable.
I think we're done.
I think so.
Yeah. All Regis would have done is get his things on his shopping list and then probably go somewhere to get something to eat because he didn't get to eat on the trip.
Well, there would have been
There have been rations.
supplies and rations.
There were provided rations by the rest of the crew.
Okay, you guys were providing food for us? Oh, then I guess that would affect what I'd need to buy. That's good to know.
They're fairly cheap anyway for a day.
I mean, it doesn't hurt to get some extra rations for yourself.
Yeah.
Well, then I'll have 25 credits left over. All right.
Ah, possibly the only one of us that did not go into debt.
Not exactly.
I
Oh, so you
didn't
did
go
go.
into that.
I mean, currently I haven't, but I might just do that for more shenanigans to possibly come up later.
I still have credits left.
It helps that Krill's build was very lightweight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also, I didn't want to accrue debt at the start.
Quote for Fish. Love murdering, though. It's great. Sentient quotes.
Very sentient.
Well, thank you everybody for joining us so far on the stream today. That was Piercing the Veil Scar. So, for those that don't know, this particular campaign will be running when the Last Hope campaign is canceled. If the other one does wind up running regularly, then we'll switch to every other week. But for now, we'll see when this happens next. But for now, thank you so much for joining, everybody. Check out our website, zgfgaming.com. We got links for our Discord, Telegram, Mastodon, Blue Sky, Patreon, and more. There on the website, as well as down in the description below through our link tree. Thank you to my patrons, tippers, and subscribers. It is your support that keeps this channel alive and going. I cannot do this without your guys' help and your support, so thank you. Consider becoming a patron over at patreon.com/zgfgaming. It's one of the best ways to support the channel, though you can also do so by sharing the stream around, coming by and hanging out, using our Humble Bundle partner link, or picking up merch over at zgfgaming.store. But for now, thank you so very much for joining, and I bid you all the most fondest adieu.
Bye-bye.
Bye.